run blocker than he is a pass blocker. And
you can deal with one bad tackle, but you can't deal with both tackles being bad. That's like
Right.
on the offense, that's problem number one they need to figure out like this week, starting this week. Because you can help one of them, but like you ain't gonna do nothing if you're helping your left tackle and your right tackle's getting beat, or vice versa.
Yeah, you can't slide two ways. You can slide one way and you can chip and you can do all that stuff. And that's why I don't know if you heard us, Jeremy, but that's what I was saying. They need, in my opinion, we'll see if it happens, but they gotta play. I gotta see more of Nate, regardless of whether or not people think he's the answer or not, so that we absolutely know for a fact. Like, because I know people are gonna be pissed about it if they have to take a tackle, but if that's the case, then you should want to see if maybe Thomas can give us something there. Because to Dylan's point, it's a good point too, Dylan, of like, if you have to draft, maybe the solution isn't Nate Thomas the right tackle. Maybe it means if you can draft a left tackle, you can plug in a left tackle, and then you can move Guyton to right. But again, I think the linchpin is you got to figure out if you have anything in Nate from this point at all. So like we got to play Nate, in my opinion.
Yeah,
I agree with that, but I would love them to move or at least try out Guyton on the right, but they're not going to do that before the end of the season. So
it's the obvious thing that all of us fans can see, but for some reason it won't fucking get done.
Yeah, I mean it's hard to make that adjustment in season, but it's also one of those things that maybe they should have figured out in the off season. Although supposedly had a good camp, but you know who was he up against now that we see our defense, right? So there's that aspect of it, but so yeah, I agree that Nate Dogg should be playing on the right, but it's an incomplete answer even still. And if he doesn't do well, but he's done well in spot work on the left, it kind of is upsetting that he won't get more of a chance there. But you know, we'll see how it shakes out.
Yeah, this is one of those situations, I think, unfortunately, for the Cowboys. You see this a lot with coaches. It's twofold, right? With both the front office and coaches, where they like to stick with what they know. They went into the season with the plan with Guyton and Steele being their tackles. They are comfortable with them. And then that's the coaching standpoint. And then from the front office standpoint, the draft picks, right? Guyton was a first round draft pick and a first round, but like they're going to give him every benefit of the doubt to succeed over at left tackle, and only when they're forced to move him to right will they move him to right. I firmly believe that. I think if you see at some point in time him play some right tackle, given if everybody's still healthy and they decide to play him at right tackle, I wouldn't read anything into if Nate Thomas takes snaps at left tackle. I wouldn't read anything into that. I could 100% see them taking a left tackle in this draft if we see Tyler Guyton take some snaps at right tackle this season. And I think Thomas will just be your swing tackle at that point. But I know it's a possibility, and I'm not necessarily against it. I always love drafting offensive linemen. It's boring, but it's needed. But they have so many defensive needs still that I really would prefer to see those resources go to the defensive side of the ball if possible, if it makes sense, depending on who falls to them.
And the rough part is, too, so far, it looks like if you're going to take a tackle that high, I am going to ruin everyone's thoughts on that. You're going to have to do it earlier. It's not, so far, at least when I've looked at, it's not the deepest class of tackles. So if you're going to, it doesn't line up well for them to be like, oh, we can take it later on if you're going to do it. Like, which is why I'm kind of setting this up, Dylan, of like, people are going to be pissed about it. But like, if you're going to do it, you probably have to do it in this draft earlier on the way it looks right now. So just setting people for like, hey, don't get super pissed. It may happen.
Well, people are going to get pissed. They got pissed last year when they took
I'm already going to be pissed right now, because here's the thing. I didn't love the Booker pick, but okay, fine. I think you do Booker because you are a little bit uncertain about Guyton. You can't have all your resources going to the offensive line. There are teams out there with a worse offensive line that they just are more cohesive and they do better, right? So just get me a free agent for maybe not left tackle because that's more important, but right tackle should be able to have not just a guy, but somewhere maybe a little above average.
Yeah, and
just be stable.
The offensive line is where most of your resources should go, because you have 5 starters there that are on the field every single snap versus, receivers, running backs, quarter, like all those guys. But at the same time, like if you're going to draft them high, like you better be damn sure they're going to hit, because that Guyton pick is really screwing this team over right now. You know, if that was another position defensively or just anywhere else that could have been a key player and helped them, much better. But you know, they reached for this guy because they needed a tackle, and so far it's I know he's developing and we got to give him a shot, but he just hasn't been very good. Hey Stu, I see you got your hand up. What's up, bro?
Hey, do we got a game this week?
Nah, dog.
What are we talking about? What are we talking about draft right now?
Well, we talked about the tackle situation in this game, and it led us to the situation in April.
Yeah, it stemmed from it stemmed from me, Sue, saying I want to see them play Nate Thomas at tackle to find out, but there's a lot of people that are pushing back saying like, no, we saw 10 snaps from him, he can't play, which I think is kind of nuts. But like, I want a bigger sample size from him in this game so that we can find out. And my only thing was, Sue, I was saying like, for the people that are saying like, no, fuck that, I don't want to see Thomas play. Well, then don't be upset if that's your position if they take a tackle in the draft, because that same person that was like, no, I don't want to see Thomas play, I don't want to figure out if maybe we have something there. Oh, seriously, we took a tackle in the first round? Like, you can't be both those guys.
Yeah, I mean, Shadi has already said that, you know, that there's an open competition there, right? So it's like you hope that they're actually competing. You know, his mantra is compete, compete, compete. So we're hoping that he's actually taking a look and evaluating that. If he's not and he's just blowing smoke, I mean, that kind of sucks. I mean, I, for one, have really trusted this front office when it comes to drafting offensive linemen, particularly in the first round. So Guyton, like Dilly said, he is still developing. He hasn't been, you know, monumental, you know what I mean, as far as his progression. But I wonder if it's us kind of like just being spoiled, because a lot of our first round offensive linemen have become like phenomenal Hall of Fame type guys. So maybe this is the normal progression for an offensive lineman. I'm not really sure.
Well, all I know is whoever playing right tackle on Monday night, they're gonna meet Mr. Crosby. So, you know, we get those Phil or Thomas out there, they're gonna struggle. It's Max Crosby, so it's all good.
So maybe we shouldn't put Nate Thomas out there this week.
Well, I mean, I think regardless of who you put out there, I mean, I think you're gonna need, you know,
They're gonna get embarrassed.
they're gonna need chips. They're gonna need, you know, Brevin Spanford, Fergie, Schoonmaker. They're gonna need people to be over there and allocate some attention over there for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm looking at I had PFF. Oh god, stay away PFF. I know it's terrible, but I'm looking at these grades because I don't have it in me to go watch offensive line play on the All 22 every week. And his pass blocking grade so far this season has gotten 10 points worse than last season. His run blocking is about the same, but his pass blocking hasn't been as good. So, I mean, I don't know. Let's finish the season out and see how he does. But I mean, just the eyeball test too, watching him every single week, and same thing with Steele. Neither one of them have been very good. You would hope you get a little bit more. Like if you see a bad player too every week, it's like okay, like Flozell Adams, okay. But you also saw him like dominating guys too. Like you don't really see that from either of our tackles. You don't really see those highlight type plays that make you think, wow, like this guy might have something. You just don't. You don't see any consistency. You don't see the highlights. You just kind of see meh, and then bad plays.
Hey, I still kind of think they fucked up moving Smith. I think once they moved him to tackle, they should have just kept him there. But that's just me.
Ooh. Jeremy, that's a good.
That's hurt is what I'm talking about, huh?
Yeah, that's a good point though. So that's the other thing I thought of too, Dylan. Could they? It might be a situation. It might if the tackle area is light in the draft. And let's just say worst case scenario that let's say Guyton and Thomas aren't playing real well or whatever. I wonder if it's like next season's got to be it type of situation. I know they don't want to do this. It would be like a last ditch sort of thing, but there are some better guards. I mean, is
Yeah.
this the year where you go, hey, we can take a guard a little bit later, we can plug a guard in there, and this is the year we kick Smith out to left?
Yeah.
I mean, all things I think for going into next year have to be considered, in my opinion. So I
Yeah.
thought about that too, Jeremy. So that's a good point.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking. If you can get an all-world, interior lineman, you can always kick Tyler out tackle, dude. I thought he played just as good as he plays at guard, but I don't know. It seems like the left tackle is more of the unicorn than the interior lineman. But I mean, you got to have good line play, obviously, from anybody. But yeah, it's just something to think about. But
That's a good point. It's a fair point. Something to think about, I guess, after the season and see if what the situation
we're
looks like.
halfway through. God damn it.
And it's so hard to not think big picture at this point with how bad this defense has been. And so on that topic, do you guys think we're going to see the beginnings of a turnaround this week defensively, or do you think it's going to be more of the same?
I think it'll look better. I think
I'm hoping.
I'm curious. We've had this discussion, Dylan, about the snap count for Overshown. I am curious to see where it falls because from what a lot of people have been saying when they were talking about and I get it. I'm not going to overly judge him either. But I think from the way it sounds, people were like in the organization have kind of let out there that they have been slow rolling in. Like there's a really if they were going to push him, he probably could have played like 3 weeks ago. So if that is the case, I mean, and I know we're all worried, but I keep saying by the end of the day, I'm sure Sue will. You're like, if you get on the field and I see Rayhan, once you're on the field, you're on the field. I'm not. Once he's out there, you can worry about it, but you got to go play. And so I'm hoping he gets 75%, which I know might sound really optimistic.
Which player are you talking about?
Overshown snaps, because they were saying if they were really pushing, because everyone feels like, I don't know, they're kind of rushing in. This is a bad situation, but people have been talking about it and saying that if they were really pushing him, he could have played like 3 weeks ago. So
I'm
that's
less worried
how
about
his rehab went.
I'm less worried about him physically, honestly. I mean, I feel like at the end of the day, you have your injuries or your ligaments are torn and stuff like that, and then when the doc says you're clear, right? So I can't worry about him getting re-injured or anything like that. I mean, if he's being cleared by the doctors, I have to trust their medical expertise. My thing is, and I know you guys are probably sick of me saying this, or examples like this, but my thing is, the reason why I would slow roll him coming back in isn't necessarily because of the physical aspect. It's more of the mental aspect of it all. And again, eye discipline. Like it's been a long time since he's seen the flow of offensive linemen. It's been a long time since he's seen game speed, game play. So getting him in there and asking him to do, Travis, I'm not trying to go directly against you, but asking him to go 75% of the snaps is really trusting that he's able to um, diagnose plays as they go and have the cognitive ability to still be able to do all that, having spent so much time off. So that's the only reason why I would ramp him up slowly. I mean, if you put him in there first quarter and he's making plays and flashing, then of course keep feeding him. But at the same time, that's what I mean personally whenever I say I don't want to force him back in there, have him, going in the wrong gaps and stuff like that.
There is something to be said too about the kind of a slow roll situation, because it's different, working out and rehabbing versus guys flying at your legs and linemen landing on your legs and stuff. So and from a mental perspective too, from what you're saying as well, even just that is you got to overcome that mentally. You know what I mean? That's a whole new thing to have to deal with in the last year.
Yeah.
It's also good to keep him fresh because obviously he's probably not total football shape. But the other thing is, just important plays, right? We don't need him out there at 1st and 10, from the opposite 20, whatever. You know what I mean? Big third down plays, that's where I would use him this first week just to kind of see where he's at. And then, like Sue said, if he's flashing and making good plays and not, not looking like he missed a step, then go ahead. But yeah, just kind of cautiously
The
go forward.
the only counterpunch I would throw to both of those, and I'll see what you guys think, is if the goal is still the goal and we're still trying to make a run, then I don't think that the team itself really has the luxury to like ramp him up for 3 weeks. He might be done in one. So like that's my only thing too, is like I don't know that we like if we were 5-3, I'm 100% like on board. It's a whole different situation. At 3-5-1, like the ability to have the luxury of doing that, I just don't know if the team has that right now.
Yeah, and if I'm the coach, like Shotty's not going to be gone next year, like his job's not on the line, right? And so I'm cautiously rolling him out. I need to see how he looks in live action. Okay, if he's not needed, if we're way ahead or something or way behind, like he's coming out of the game, I don't care if he needs the snaps or not, because the absolute worst possible scenario for any of our key players is to do what happened to him last season, right? Go down towards the end of the year, and now you miss a half a season or a whole season the following year. So like, yeah, I want to do what's best for the team today. I also got to kind of keep in mind next year too. You know what I mean? And I'm sure those conversations are being had too behind the scenes.
And I'm sure that's the case, Dylan, but that's why I say like it depends on where this team feels they're at, because if that's the case, then it goes back to my previous point. Then they 100% need to play Nate Thomas like unequivocally, because everyone that's fighting me on the Nate Thomas thing says like, well, they're still in it right now, and that's kind of where I'm coming from. Like, well, if that's the case, then it's like, so I know it's a tightrope to walk, but like, is it this year still, or are we talking about next year?
The Nate Thomas thing is weird to me because I feel like he gives you just as good a shot as Terrence Steele does. At least I feel like he could for this year. So that's a weird thing to me.
And he's on the up slope where Steele's on the down slope. You know what I mean?
Yep. Yeah, I agree. So that's silly.
Overshown. You know, we're not talking about Malik Hooker's pitch count or anybody else that's coming back, Revel, right? I think it's just because we're all all hoping that Overshown comes out, tips the screen, intercepts it, and runs for a touchdown again, right?
Yeah,
right.
exactly.
That'd be sick.
He's such a playmaker, you know what I mean? You don't want to see him play an average, ramping up to be that guy. You want him to be that guy the second he steps out there. So I think there's two camps there,
No doubt.
Yeah. Also, I don't necessarily think about
none of us are worried about Malik Hookers.
Yeah, I was like, I just don't think about him as much. Is he coming back? They
yeah, he apparently is coming back, and that's that's been a big problem area for us. The safety has been a fucking it's just been awful all year. So
I'm excited to see Revel, to be honest. I mean, not that I watched East Carolina, so it's really all theoretical, but I'm excited to see, do we have something? I don't need him to be, all pro. I just feel like if we upgrade our, with Quennin Williams and Logan Wilson and DeMarvion Overshown, we just need some competence out there on the sidelines,
It's honestly it's a new look defense at this point. You got 4 guys coming in that haven't played a single snap this season, right? And at least for the Cowboys. And so Quentin Williams himself changes everything defensively, what you should be able to do hypothetically, as long as you use him correctly. He's going to free up Osa from the double teams. Kenny Clark can take a breather here and there, so he's not on the ground, halfway through the game. It should help your corners, hopefully. Maybe give you some more 3rd and longs because they're not running for 6 yards, 7 yards on first down. And then you got Overshown coming back. That should help. Obviously, Ravel, we don't really know what to expect from Ravel. And honestly, it's not a whole lot for me just because he's a rookie coming back from injury, but it will be fun to see him play and hopefully get better every week and going into next season. But this thing should look different, right? Like it should look very different than what it's looked like thus far.
Yeah, with Ravel, I've literally seen 3 plays in his whole career. You know what I mean?
And they were all pick sixes.
That's why I said it's all theoretical excitement. But hey, Carson played well last week, right?
Yeah, he's going to get a lot more snaps this week.
Yeah, so that could be an upgrade for us. Again, I don't expect everybody we draft, especially someone, I think it was the 5th round or maybe 6th, to be an all-pro, but you don't need all pros at every single position. You just need not what we have right now,
Yeah.
So let's see. And like you said, other players elevate, If
And I don't know
if-
what the deal is with Butler. Has anybody heard anything on Butler?
Not really.
Mm-mm.
I mean, I heard that he had 1 million views on Spotify or something. That's for his song. That's about it.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I just looked up Bryce Butler. Wow, I'm so stupid.
That's hilarious.
That was many moons ago. Although he was a blast to watch, dude. He was a fun
Yeah.
receiver
He was.
to watch.
Yeah.
I liked his body type.
I liked a lot.
I think Josh is coming along, but I think they're just trying to slow play it because they got Ravel. They're trying to see what Ravel gonna do, and of course, the Carson just got back, so he's trying to see.
3 brand new
I think
corners, pretty
Butler's
much.
still Butler's still he's still rehabbing because he got hurt towards the end of last year. So Butler's still rehabbing, and they haven't even opened up his 20-day window.
At 1 o'clock today, he made a post on the Twitter, a picture of him in his jersey on the field and like a finger counting down or something with a salute.
Yeah, so they might be opening up his 21-day window soon.
Okay. Good.
Also, before we move too far away from it, I don't know if everybody in here listens to Nick Eatman's Storyline show, but when I called in yesterday, that's what I was trying to say. Like, I didn't feel like this is preseason. Like, I'm sorry, like this is the opening game. Like, it's 0-0. Like, it's a fresh start. I just meant like in the preseason, we all want to see our guys play. Like, a lot of us are like, oh, I just want to see some action. I just want to see the starters play for a little bit. I just want to see some starters. And you don't. And you have that anticipation to finally see them on the field. And I feel like that's what I'm trying to talk about. Like, this defense this week, that's what I feel like. I feel like I haven't got to see all the defense on the field. I haven't got to see all the playmakers. And now I want to see what this defense looks like. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
I thought you made perfect sense.
I think we
really
all
do.
understood you. What Nick does is so dang hard to like try to listen, and because she's got to immediately respond and like be coherent. So like sometimes it's just hard to really get the point across, and for him to like get
And
it.
I feel like he wants to, even if he understood you clearly, if he thinks there's someone out there who might think of it differently, because I know sometimes I do that when I'm dealing with two parties that are talking over each other or whatever, or at each other, and they don't get what the other's saying. I think that's what he was trying to do a little bit, clarify for the people who didn't get it.
yeah. Hey, and respectfully, Jeremy, when you're not speaking, can you mute up? Because there's like a lot of feedback whenever other people are speaking. Like Irene, I could hear like her twice, I think. But but no,
Sorry about that.
No, you're good, brother. You're good.
Twice is nice, baby.
You don't want to
Twice
hear
is nice.
twice? It's
Two
not good
Irenes.
enough?
No, we
Yeah,
don't have-
shots fired, man.
Wow. Rude.
No,
dude.
but no, I agree. Like, I know Nick. He'll always kind of try to take like devil's advocate, kind of just take the other side. I mean, it would be boring if we all agreed, So I do appreciate him bringing that other perspective, but at the same time, and maybe this is just me being like too, over analyzing it. But at the same time, I'm like, man, I don't want people to think I'm dumb. Like, I get that we're behind the 8 ball. Like, I'm just saying, like, I can't wait to see all these players together on the field and see if it's something to actually be excited about. But my thing is, even if it is something to be excited about, or even if they do come out and perform really well against the Raiders, like I said on my call today, then the excuse is going to be not necessarily excuse, but then I feel like the logical thing would be like, okay, well, it's the Raiders. Like, Dallas, the excuses that we've always beaten up on bad teams. Like, sure, the defense may look better, but it's against the Raiders. Like, we have 3 really, really good teams coming afterwards. So just because they play well, even if they go out and like Dallas puts up 31-10, I'm still not going to be like, all right, our defense is fixed, because we got some juggernauts coming up. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I don't think anybody would think that, though, just because. Well, first of all, the Washington game, right? Washington game, we looked like, okay, this defense has got like a grip on things and is on the uptick, and then Arizona happens.
Okay, but we've done it twice. There are people, and I'll count myself in that thought after the Jets, okay, I know it's the Jets, but, and then, okay, Washington, but. So we've done it at least twice. So I will, and this time it's going to be even harder. because now you got all these new people coming, and was it because of them? I think it depends on how it looks, and not just the score, but maybe how well contained the run is, or how many sacks we might.
What was the game where
generate.
I think it was Washington, right, where we blitzed a bunch and played a bunch of man?
Yes.
Right, but I said at the time, is it because of the personnel that the Commanders trotted out, or was it because he truly wanted to do that as a kind of a schematic thing? And it turns out it was just because of the unit we were playing against. But schematically, like, we should be doing that more often, because if our guys can't cover, right, and we're sending 4, you might as well not cover and send 6 and see if somebody can get home. So I don't really understand the logic of not doing that more often. I don't know. You won't need to hopefully do that as much now with some of these guys coming back, and you can play some just straight up defense. But I'm still not confident that everything's going to be hunky dory now. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean,
I don't expect us to play anything. I expect us to see 5-man down. I said 5-man front. I expect to see that, because they really don't have like one threat for throwing the ball is Bowers. Really, because they don't really have a wide receiver. They traded away their number 1 in Myers. So really, I think we're going to have more of the Washington game plan this week, where they're going to be blitzing and they're going to see 5-man fronts, and they're going to be getting after it.
Hope so.
And then for me, as far as the defense goes, I'm going to have to see them stack some games up. Like, I can't have like one here, not one here, one here. And I mean, it's got to be consistent every week before I have any kind of confidence in this defense.
Yeah, and it's not even like just them playing well, for multiple weeks. It's how they're playing well. It's what they're doing schematically, what Flus is doing, who's showing up, what players are showing up. So there's a lot that goes into it for sure. But yeah, if they have one, and I don't think anybody here on this call is going to be like, oh, we made it, if they have one good week. But it will be exciting to see, especially if some of the new additions that are coming back or coming in play well. Like, that will excite the hell out of me, even though I'll be reserved and won't think that we've arrived. It'll still be exciting and fun to watch.
But the cool thing is, we'll get to see it against really good competition in the next few weeks after. So we'll get it answered real quick.
Yeah, and so I wouldn't worry about Nick not maybe misunderstanding your point, because he's done it a couple times to me where I've hung up and I'm like, no, you took that the total, like, that was not what I was trying to say. And he took the complete. I was like, no, like I was like, well, I did not explain that good, because he took it a different way, and I was like, that's not what I was.
It's hard too, because like we don't really, a lot of us don't really converse when we call them. We just say our point and then get off, because obviously we're limited for time. So if we make like 2 or 3 points, he's either writing it down and not listening to the second part of our point, or like he's trying to formulate a response, whatever it might be. So like, I've tried to make it more conversational, but damn, it's hard, because like, you're on a time crunch. Like, you got 3 minutes to like make your point. You know what I mean? Or else you're gonna get rushed off the phone. So like, it's not easy, and just talking on the phone in general kind of sucks. It's kind of hard as it is.
Fun fact about that. So whenever the Cowboys played the Packers, and some of the storyliners came out, and they had like that big tailgate and stuff, Chris Beam came down, and he was talking to me, and I was talking to him, and we were just talking about like some people who are a little bit long-winded on the phone, some people just how it is, like, just kind of talking about it. And he said that there used to be, I can't remember if it was on Hangin' or what show, but he said that Chris Chris said that he used to have a 27-second timer. And if it was over 27 seconds, he would just hang up on them, like, immediately. And I was like, dude.
Was that the one with Nate?
Oh, I remember listening to that, and he would hang up on. They took too long. He would literally hang up.
Dude, Nate was so funny, because he's like, skip the how are yous, the how you doings. He's like, just get to it.
Yep.
I don't think we need. That would be way too short, 27 seconds. But a minute, I guess.
That kind of defeat the purpose of the show. You wouldn't get enough callers in a show at that point.
It does.
It'd be crazy fast.
Yeah. It also would kill the vibes.
The vibes.
Yeah.
This week's been tough on there, man, as far as the emotions and stuff. But I'm glad that everybody said, their piece. I'm sure more people will call in and say what they got to say. But it's definitely cathartic to be able to just speak with people. I know we didn't know Marshawn and all that personally, but like, when stuff like that happens, just as a human being, you obviously just feel sadness for it, and then it makes you reflect on your own life and what's going on with the relationships you have and the people you know. So, all in all, it's been, one of the best weeks, unfortunately, due to the circumstances, but from a community standpoint, one of the best weeks that I think we've had on his show, for sure.
I agree, and I feel like for me personally, I got to see a whole different side of Nick. Like, I've been watching him, reading his stuff since I was in high school, since before high
Yeah.
school. You know what I mean? But like, I've realized that he really is a true empath. You know what I mean? Like, genuinely, like I could see, like even when he said something to the effect of like, I don't like watching
Kids in
movies or
movies get
TV
hurt.
shows. Yeah.
Yeah.
He was like, because I don't know them on the show, but I do know kids, and I do know this. And
Right.
he said, I do know a 24-year-old, you know what I mean? Like, so it just shows like how empathetic he is in a sense, you know what I mean? So I thought it was really cool. Like, if I already like the guy, it just gave me more reason to like him. He's a really cool dude.
Yeah, I'm the same way. Like if there's a show, we actually, it's so crazy he said that, because we were looking at some horror movies to watch earlier in the week, and the Poughkeepsie tapes, I think it was called. We looked it up to see what it was about, and apparently a little kid gets like pretty hurt pretty bad in that movie, in a real bad way, and so that was an immediate no from us on that one. So we had to find something else to watch. But like there's a couple of things in the world, man, that'll make me instantly tear up, and that's like stuff with kids, and talking about my family and stuff in an emotional way. So I get that a lot, and I definitely respect Nick, and I can see when he talks about his kids, and I mentioned it on the call, when he talks about his kids, dude, you can just see it in his eyes. Like, that is by far the most important thing to him, it seems like, in this world. Obviously for a lot of us it is, but like, man, you can tell when he talks about them how much they mean.
Yeah, that's why I feel bad, because I'm sorry, Travis, real quick.
No, you're good. You're good.
One of the callers, I can't remember who it is, and I know it's not malicious at all. Like, I know it's not. It doesn't seem like it. But he always talks about like how he watches the games with his son. Like, oh yeah, I'm watching with my son or my daughter. I can't remember. I'm watching, and yeah, I don't, it's really exciting to watch it with them. And I'm just like,
Robbie.
dude, yeah, Robbie. I'm like, dude, Nick has always said that he's not able to watch it with his kids. Like, it probably makes him feel a little bad. You know what I mean? Like,
I've never thought about that.
Yeah, dude.
Oh,
But also, real
yeah, I
quick,
never thought that too.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
any one of us feels bad that we ain't there fucking reporting on the sideline.
No,
That's fair.
100%. No,
Fair
100%.
job in the whole
Yeah, I
world
mean,
to
if he
me.
gets a full view of it, I mean, come on.
Yeah.
Yeah. No,
Yeah,
I
I
mean,
mean,
no.
I love my kids, but shit, if I had a chance to watch the game from the sideline or sit and watch with them, see ya. I'm going sideline, kid.
Yeah.
I'll see
Well,
you
no,
on Monday.
But no, that's so funny. But no lie, I mean, like I've told the story before, and I'm not gonna tell the whole story. But I've had a phone conversation with Derek Eagleton. I was really ambitious, and I like slid in his DMs, so to speak, and was just like, look, I really want to work for you one day. Like, this is my dream, yada yada. And long story short, he was nice enough to set up a call with me and was like, this is what you should do. Go to this school, study this. Start your own thing. I'll be watching you, and I'm your mentor now. He said, I still have his number to this day. He said, anytime you need me, you give me a call, yada, yada. I haven't called him since because shortly after that, I realized that, my wife was pregnant, and I started to really evaluate it. And I've spent time away from my family, with the military, and I didn't really want to, at the time, I really was like, I don't really want to do that, missing games and stuff like that with my kids. So like, I did choose at that point to be like, you know what, I don't want to be gone a lot. I did hear about Nick and him being away a lot, and it just, I don't know, it didn't sit well with me. One day, maybe when my kids are older, I'd like to go to school and maybe see if I can do this stuff. But as of right now, I decided against it. But real quick, Lorddylly, because you mentioned the movie thing, this is a little off topic, but going back, because you mentioned the movie thing and you were like looking at, what happened and you saw about the little boy, there's a website out there, and I want to let anybody who is interested in this to know. There's a website out there, I believe it's called doesthedogdie.com, and it's basically a website that's dedicated to like letting you know beforehand about trigger warnings, right? So like, let's say, you're really, on the topic of suicide, let's say that there's a movie and you're like, oh, it's supposed to be a somber movie, but suicide really triggers me. You can go to doesthedogdie.com, and it'll give you all the trigger warnings for the movie without spoiling the movie. So I just wanted to let you know, or anybody else know, that if that's something that you're interested in, you could check that out to make sure that you're not kind of dipping your toes into something that you didn't know was going to trigger you for watching.
Yeah, it's pretty sick. I didn't know that existed. My 18-year-old and I are looking at some of these like floss tape whatever they're called, found footage horror movies to try to get into, and we ended up watching one. It was like Horror House LLC or Hell House LLC. It was really good, really scary. But like anything that has like, I don't know, like dogs dying, kids dying, or getting hurt, or anything like that. So that's good to know, bro, because that's gonna be a no-go for me.
I take it you weren't a fan of Pet Cemetery.
Well, that's a little different. I mean, you know what you're getting into on that one. Like that's the whole premise. That's a little
Don't they have
different.
power though?
Yeah, dogs and kids dying in that.
That's a dog empowerment movie, actually, Jeremy.
But yeah.
Hey,
no,
what the heck is
that's a
up
good
with
call.
these uniforms that are
They're
like
so
gray?
ugly. I was waiting for my opportunity to call it out. My God, is it
Okay.
ugly?
I waited for a commercial.
Talking about a horror movie. Jeez.
I literally thought
fucked up on my TV.
yes. Me too. I was like, oh shit, my laptop's only like a year
I'm
old.
in the car, so I haven't seen the game yet.
Okay, well,
They're like
they're wearing gray.
I think, what is it? Pabst Blue? Is that? No, I think the Pabst Blue is even darker than that color. I'm trying to think of the comparison. It's like a powder blue. It's just
like
so ugly.
sepia, dude. Like
But
the
it's
fucking
like
pictures you get, and you get the sepia ones.
sepia.
Yeah, where you only see partial colors, kind of.
Oh yeah, no, it does. It looks like That's exactly right.
It's like
it
if
does
your
look
printer's
like,
trying to print like dark black or like dark blue, and this is the color it prints out.
It's grayscale. It's actually
Yeah,
grayscale.
it's like gray blue. It's gross, dude.
And then
Yeah.
then Jets helmets look greener than fucking, Bob Marley's butthole, dude. They're
I don't know if they're different. Are they? Are they actually different? Or is it
but just with
just in comparison?
contrast.
Yeah.
The contrast.
It is not pretty.
Well, if anybody's interested in a series, I've started the series Welcome to Derry.
I heard that was pretty good.
Oh, wait. What's that about? Because
it's about how it started.
Okay, that's what I was gonna say. Because it is in Derry.
Yes.
That's awesome.
It's good. I like.
Wait. So you're into horror movies, I guess?
Oh yes, definitely.
So are you into or have any working knowledge of country music at all?
Oh yeah.
Somewhat, yes.
Okay, so there's a band called the Band Perry, right? So one time there was like a Facebook, I don't know, I don't want to say challenge, but whatever, and it was like, change the meaning of a band with one letter, and instead of the band Perry, I did the band Derry and had a picture of Pennywise. Nobody understood it, and I was like, so I just need to share that.
Sometimes the best references are that people just don't get them. You're just smarter than everybody else is the problem.
Yeah. There you go. There you go.
Yeah, I've seen all the Annabelle movies. I've seen The Nun 1 and 2. I've seen all the Conjuring movies. So I'm into all that.
Okay, super into it. Okay, cool.
Yeah, definitely.
I used to be more into it, but I'm still down for it.
Oh yeah.
I actually like these uniforms. I'm surprised y'all really y'all really like them. I was like, that's
Gotta put some eye drops in, bro, so you can see better. Something's wrong with your vision.
I mean,
I like the red ones better though. I like the all red ones they got. The
red ones are great.
The Patriot Pad or whatever they call them. I like them better, but these ain't bad. It ain't bad. There's a color clash because you got green and that blue. So yeah, I can see why I could be like, what the hell we watching right now? But it ain't too bad. I wonder how they're gonna look on screen. I was like, okay, not bad. I mean, it'd be nice if Jared would do some shit like that. But it's just he'll never love to be great. It'd be nice if we do some black cowboy uniforms. That'd be
okay. That I would like to see.
That would be so dope.
I would definitely like black.
Nick does not like that. Every time someone it's been suggested on the show like 3 times, like once a year it's suggested, and every time he gets pissed off about it. It's so funny.
Let me
I don't know.
Why? What is his problem with black?
I think he just thinks it's a class. Our uniform's classic. Don't mess with a classic, but
Well, I'll be on that side of it. Not a fan.
Oh, you suck, Trevor. Suck. Balls, even do.
Seafoam. See how he likes that one.
If anything, they need to remake or revamp the what year was it? The ones with the stars on the shoulder pads. Do a modern version of that. That would be sweet.
Just
Oh,
wear
I would love
the
that.
white
I would
ones
love
every
that.
week. The color rush white.
like a revived throwback.
The double star.
Yeah, that would be cool.
94.
Yeah,
That's also
94.
cool.
I thought that's what it was, Jeremy, but I couldn't remember. But yeah,
Yeah. That
double
was
star. Do a modern version of that. That would be sweet.
Arctic white with the red and blue stripes in the helmet. Just wear that every week.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's pretty cool.
No,
There you
I
go.
don't like the stripes on the helmet.
The
For
late
whatever
80s.
reason, I just
I like them because when you're looking at the
dark
film,
uniform is our best one ever. The late 80s dark one with the gray numbers and then the white nameplate. And then you had the numbers on the pants on the side. You remember that?
yes.
But their numbers were on the pants too, on their side. And then they had the dark blue navy jerseys. That was late 80s, early 90s. Yeah, right
Yep.
before Jimmy got there. Those were the shit.
Those were nice. Yeah.
yeah. Anyways,
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
I got a question for you guys.
Dylan, your microphone is totally fixed this week. I haven't heard it cut out once.
Yeah, it's a miracle, bro. I just turned it on and it started working. No, I spent like a half hour or so with some people. David, Irene, was it Josh came in? Chris came in. Yeah, it was fun. We were just farting around and I was trying to figure it out. Ended up being something real simple. So it always is. It's just you got to go through the checklist till you figure it out. So I'm glad it's working.
8.8, Sue.
He just wanted to talk to us.
Hey, real quick, guys. I'm gonna go try to put my kids down to sleep. They got bunk beds now, so they're always playing. So I gotta go make sure they go to sleep. Then I'll try to hop back on. It shouldn't be too long, man. So I'll catch you guys in a little bit.
All right, we'll be around.
Yeah.
You got a
Yeah,
referee.
you ain't gonna miss no fireworks unless Dark come up and be a speaker because he kind of tag me with this fucking.
You hear that,
Mac
Travis?
shit.
Travis, I think
Yeah,
you're
damn.
getting challenged as well here by Davion. You need to trigger him somehow. Let me ask y'all a question. This is going to trigger somebody. Maybe. I keep seeing comparisons and people saying CD's better than George Pickens or Pickens is better than CD. We got to feed this guy or that guy. What y'all think about that? What's the deal?
I think it's a bunch
Fucking
of
silly.
BS. I just think it's good.
No, I think they're just trying to make a storyline because basically,
Yeah.
I think with some of the creators out there saying that the offense got kind of stagnant when they brought CD back, they trying to force CD to ball, but it's really the offensive line that got worse since CD got back. That's why now we're not really getting the consistency down the field.
Nailed
Our
it.
tackles these tackles have really been fucking up, boy. I'm like, Jesus.
Yeah, dog. You nailed
Yeah.
it. That's it right there.
To me, I think with CD coming back, I think it's the offensive line that's just been not gelling and not giving Dak time to see where to throw the ball. And
Yeah.
I mean, people have seen what Pickens can do, and I think they're covering him up too. Between covering him up and covering CD up, so that's limiting both of them.
Well, and
So we're
Jake has
having
kind of fallen off, right? So,
Yes. So we're
whereas,
having to rely on the tight ends and the running back right now.
yeah. So, but I do have a question about that with the line because in the beginning of the season, the line was not amazing either. It was just that Dak, for some reason, was able to just
getting it out
like
quick.
sidestep,
Yep.
get it out more quickly,
Yeah.
And maybe they weren't.
running it way more too, though. You know
Yeah,
what I'm saying?
that's fair.
Away from the fucking run. That's what kills us every time. We fall in love with the pass game.
That's true.
Yeah, and try to get everybody 100 yards when we should just be pounding it with Javante.
It just seems to me that the play calling for the last couple of games has just been really conservative. And
Well, I think.
And why?
I think that well, it's weird. It's like it's conservative at times, and then it's really aggressive when it doesn't necessarily need to be. And I think that's because of how badly the defense has been doing.
Yeah, he's capping when he says it hasn't affected his play calling. It definitely has.
Well, you look at all the times we're going for on fourth down. We left at minimum 12 points in the field between the turnover on downs and the turnovers down in the red zone or scoring territory.
Davion will like this. I'm with Davion. I think they're bringing that up, Dylan, because they're saying like, well, look at early in the season when CD was out, like they're going back to that. And my only thing would be, well, yeah, it doesn't look as good right now because if we think about it, they haven't had that much, like even Dak, the whole group, haven't had that much time to kind of figure out what's the best way to utilize CD and Pickens because
together. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, they didn't get that much time in before he was out. So now people are drawing like they're going back to like, well, see when he was out though. Well, yeah, because it's easier. Who am I going to pick it? Although I say that, Dylan, in the Carolina game when it came down to it, and when I called Nick, I said I'd throw the Pickens 3 straight times. We didn't do that, but damn it, they should have. But yeah, it's a hell of a lot easier. So I think they're just working through how do I best utilize both these guys on the field at the same time. So I don't think it's going to take a long. I think it'll be much better this week, but it's a process.
Give me all the players I can get, and they'll figure it out. You know, I think you guys hit it on the head. It's the offensive line clearly, and I think part of that is also the play calling. Like we were running for 6, 7, 8 yards a carry the first drive against Arizona. We get down to the 4-yard line, and then it's pass.
They were getting chewed. We were chewing them up.
And then we decided to throw the ball twice, 3rd and 4th. Like if we're gonna go for it, that's another thing that it's kind of a knock on Shoddy. And he's a young head coach. He's his first time, so I'm giving him a little bit of a pass here because we've seen a lot of good stuff. And so if he can improve on the situational play calling, please do. But like if you're gonna go for it
in the red zone like that, Dylan, you need to run the ball.
And especially if you're going to go for it on 4th down, you need to know like it's 3rd and goal from the 4. If I'm going to go for it on 4th down, can they really stop us from picking up positive yardage 2 downs in a row on the ground? And if you try to run it on 3rd down and don't get anything, we kick the field goal at that point, right? But if you can run it and pick up a yard or 2, well, now it opens up your options on 4th down versus having to throw it on 3rd and 4 or 4th and 4.
And I do think the way that the line has been performing lately has messed up the almost sure touchdown or first down of Dak hold. Like I can't tell you how many times over the years I've just said, Dak, just hold on to the ball and run it in yourself, and he does it, and it's a touchdown, right? But he hasn't been able to do that. So and I think it's just the line is collapsing too much for him to even think about that. So that's frustrating, but I think Shoddy will get better at that.
I'm giving Shoddy grace too, but Dylan, to your point, a little less of which I think plagues all coaches, but it plagued Garrett for the longest time. You guys know what I'm going to say. It was the like it's the whole coaches outsmart themselves. I feel like so many times they're like, they think I'm going to do this, so we're going to do this. When we need a little less of that to Sunshine's point at the 4-yard line and just do the Larry Allen shoot noise where, we're going right here and there's absolutely nothing you can do about it.
Yep. Right. And that's the thing is they overthink it too much.
Every OC suffers from it. I saw it in the Colts game last week. You got the best running back in the league right now, one of the best offensive lines, and it was like 3rd and 2, and they throw the ball. It's 4th down now. You know what they do? They throw the ball, and they don't get it. You know what I mean? So every OC does it.
But what's wild is he might actually have a a better year than Saquon's last year.
He's sick, dude. It's crazy. He's had 5?
Jonathan Taylor is a freaking beast.
He's had like 4 or 5 3-touchdown games this season. It's ridiculous.
Yep.
Everybody had his ass rode off too.
Yeah.
That's why he fell in. People draft him in like the 3rd round. I don't know where he went in ours, to be honest, but
I had him last year. He was really good for me last year, but my team sucked. And then this year I didn't even draw, so I didn't really consider him. I didn't even think about him this year. I guess I'm stupid. That's why my team sucks.
There you go.
Yeah, and he's making Daniel Jones look like a freaking.
And honestly though, Daniel Jones, if you watch the games, like he's played really well, but it's because he only has to do things situationally. Like he's not the guy they're depending on down there, and like that's every quarterback stream, and that's why I go back all the time.
Like he's not having to carry the team.
And you can do that with just about any quarterback, right? Like that's why I'm always like, guys, put the resources towards your offensive line, your receivers, your running backs. Like build the offense to be an elite unit where you can just plug in a rookie contract quarterback and recycle him every 4 to 5 years. Like it can't be that hard to do that, right? Like there can't be a single, like I don't know, the Niners did it with Brock Purdy, right? Like we did it with Dak in 2016. He slid right in because that offense was so damn good. The offensive line was so good. So like it's doable, and it's a long-term solution versus like these teams that keep picking quarterbacks all the time in the top 5 and can't ever hit one. Well, it's because everybody else around them sucks. You saw the Browns do it for like 100 years. They're still going through it.
Yep.
You know,
look at Chicago.
The Giants.
The Jets.
Giants.
Travis, how do you feel about Coach Mack potentially going to the Giants?
I'm all for it.
I don't like
There you
it.
go.
Saddle up.
Did you guys hear the interview from Penix?
No.
Yeah, that was pretty terrible.
What did he say?
He said, "I
they
have no
asked-
support from my coaches on the
Has no
sidelines." He's like, "I
support.
rely
Like,
on my high
basically,
school
he
coaches
talks
and
to
my
his-
college coaches." It's like,
He
what?
talked to his
Wait,
high
what?
school coach.
He said he
Oh, that's
doesn't
bad.
have like much support from I forget who the OC's name was, but his OC,
The OC nor the
or,
quarterback coach or the head coach.
or the head coach. He said,
Wow.
Yeah, it's
Well, that's
wild.
terrible.
which is a really weird. I read it and I was like, that is pretty strange.
Yeah, he says he goes back to his high school coach.
That's crazy.
That's really
That
unfortunate.
is ass.
By the way, can I say something funny? I want to see. I don't know if you guys saw the pictures of Quennin, but when we talk about like the prototypical defensive tackle like nowadays and why he gets thrown in the mix of guys like Chris Jones is because he like they have a similar body type where they're 300 plus pounds, but like they look a certain way. I'll just say like he carries it really well. I want to see the picture of Quentin Williams standing next to Jay Toia. It would be the most hilarious picture ever because it'd be like one tall like rocked up dude and then like one short like real tubby like. It would be like it'd be the contrast of contrast for defensive tackles. I want to see that picture so bad.
I love it.
You know what I'm worried about this week against the Raiders? And like I called out when very beginning of the season played against Caleb Williams. Like, and Caleb Williams is having a decent season. He's not a complete bum, but I'm like, Caleb Williams has been playing decently, and I'm afraid he's going to break out against us and have a great game. And now we've seen it time and time again with these other quarterbacks and other players that are kind of just not great. But my worry this week is that Genty struggled, right? But we know he's a really good player. So my worry is that, and we don't know what to expect because this is kind of a new look defense, but my worry is that he goes off this week because he's the guy that's going to beat us on that team if anybody does it.
Oh, he's been doing better.
I don't
too.
think it's going to happen. I don't think it's going to happen, Dylan. If I can help you out, only because their inside is so beaten up. Like they're down to. I mean, this is by far the worst. Which I know this is maybe I shouldn't say it, but this is by far the worst offensive line because they're playing backups. Like they lost JPJ, they lost Parham. Like it's a backup center. Like they're down bad. So like if like the reason Gente hasn't had a good year this year is because he's been getting hit in the backfield so much before he even gets going. To your point though, if he for some reason if he does have a good week, then again same thing. Just shut it down. Let's go to like.
If he's going to have a good week this season, it would probably be this week, unfortunately.
It can't be, dude.
Yeah. I don't know where your confidence. I love it though, Travis. I really do.
Well,
it's not someone.
It's not Dallas, right?
I believe that we're the get right team, dude. We're the fucking get right team.
They also
lost 5 in a row. Arizona did 5 in a row.
But they're not bad though. Arizona, to be fair to them.
But we get how we get tied to the Raiders all the time because of Al Davis. I mean, they're kind of Jeremy the get right game of the AFC.
Yeah,
so,
fair.
And not only that, but like I said,
get right bowl.
Yeah, they've lost both of their starting guards and backup set. Like they are down. Like their offensive line is beat. They would be playing an offensive line. Our offensive line, if it was theirs, would be Nate Thomas, Hakeem Adeniji, Brock I forget his name, Brock Hoffman. TJ Bass and insert a name. That's what they're playing right now on offensive line. Like it's so again, if they do that, Dylan, then the next time we chat, it's gonna be shut it down because we are.
I'm not hosting another chat for the rest of the year. No, I'm just kidding.
And if they do, Eberflus needs to go next week.
I mean,
well.
That is the stamp.
That's a whole other topic that I was just gonna say something about, but I don't know if I want to go down that road.
That is the stamp on your way out the door, son.
I mean,
His fucking ass should be gone already. Are you kidding me?
It's just tough though, Jeremy, because it's like okay, so
I know it is.
It's 4 DCs in 4 years at that point, and it's like if it's not the right guy, it's not the right guy. So move on and get him out. But is it really just a timing thing? Like, does he really need a season to get this thing right with some better players and figure it out, or like, do we really need another new guy in here?
Do better players mean that you're gonna not have them? 10 yards off the line on 3rd and 3.
But is he playing that way because they're not very good and he's afraid they're going to get burned? You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Who
I mean, I think
cares?
maybe, but
Hey Travis, I'm
exactly.
with you. I'm playing him up if it's me.
Someone needs to yell at like, dude,
He,
stop worrying about like if we get burned. We've been
yeah.
getting burned regardless.
Right. It, like, it
Yeah.
hasn't prevented that.
I mean, it's not. It can't get any worse, and that's
And if
that's
he
the
keeps
sad
doing
truth.
that, that's stubbornness. Just dude, be aggressive. We have to take chances. We're in it. We're backed into a corner. What happens when you get back in a corner? You gotta do wacky stuff. Let's just throw it all at it. If we get beat, oh no, we got beat playing aggressive. Guess what? We get beat. Like when everyone was talking about we can't play man. If we play man, we're gonna get beat even worse. So we were getting beat just as bad in zone. That doesn't matter. Like, at least they're trying.
I'm with you, bro. I'm just trying to get into the mind of the master here. You know what I mean?
I'm just saying, if it happens this week, Dylan, then like to Jeremy's point, I know Jeremy said he should be gone, but just if they go off this week, like the Raiders, I would say, dude.
So who do you replace him with? The Niners' old DC, their special teams guy.
Probably White Cotton, dude.
No, I would do White Cotton. Yeah,
I would do White Cotton.
You think? Because
Yeah.
you've got a guy who was a DC before, sitting as your special teams coordinator. Got
That's true.
experience.
He's
He
not
could slide
doing
right
well
in.
with special
Oh,
teams.
Sorensen? No, I'm good. Thank you.
No, you go with White Cotton because he's the
I'd
one
go
that
with
the
White
players
Cotton.
listen to.
Yeah.
I go with
I
White
hesitate.
Cotton because he runs the front.
I hesitate inserting guys that I really like into interim slots because I almost feel like you're almost setting them up to fail. Like if this thing is a piece of shit and you put him in there and it's still a piece of shit, what does that do for you next year?
No,
maybe
he stays. He's safe. That's why you could do it.
Well, I'm not saying that. I'm saying from a confidence standpoint or a public perception standpoint or whatever it might be. Like, there's a lot of different angles to look at it from. But like, if I like him as my DC, I might look at him, and maybe he does make a good interim. Maybe that is a solution. I'm just thinking of other ways here. But I almost would be like, okay, I'll make him the DC. Maybe I'll give him an interview for next year when I'm looking for guys to bring in versus setting him up to fail immediately.
I just have not been impressed with Sorensen and special teams, to be honest with you.
No, honestly, it's bad. And I noticed it early.
That's why I wouldn't put him as a DC.
Like, what's up with the punt coverage and kickoff coverage?
It's terrible.
I'm like, come on, guys. I don't need this flashy stuff, but
at least you need discipline.
I'm waiting for Turpin to do something with his life here on a kick return.
Hey, we can bring back our boy. He's on a staff that the head coach got fired on. Bring him back.
Oh, yeah.
Fossil Bones.
I like that.
Yep.
Watch
Come on back.
I like that a lot, actually.
Yeah, he was an excellent coordinator for special teams.
He's also a very cool person.
He'll be looking for a job again after Bill Callahan got fired.
Because they're going to start a whole new stuff there.
Who's their interim coach? I don't even know.
Don't even know.
Okay. But it's not Bones, so.
No, who's at a drive-thru? What you ordering?
Yeah, I heard food arrived.
Yes, I am at Filiberto's.
What is that?
It's drive-through Mexican food.
Can I get a enchilada plate with some rice on the side?
They have that there. Yes, they do.
Heyo.
Getting a burrito.
Nice.
Yeah, I had one earlier this week. Their chicken burrito. It's very spicy with shredded chicken, and cheese, and
sounds good.
Yep.
Hey,
it's called Filiberto's.
Yeah, Filiberto's. They're a chain out here in Arizona.
Cool.
This is how much of a loser I am.
Very familiar.
Yeah, very familiar with Travis being a loser.
This is how much of a loser I am, you guys. I was supposed to drive home next week for the holidays. I'm going to work from my parents' house for like throughout the new year, like basically now. And my parents were like, "Why aren't you driving home this weekend?" I was like, "Well, I mean, I didn't want to say exactly why, but I was like, I'm leaving early Tuesday morning." And then my dad called me. He's like, "So you're watching the Monday night game?" I was like, "Yeah."
Listen, dude, we all do it. We all change our life schedule around the games.
He figured it out pretty quick.
Yep.
Yeah.
I had to change my cruise date one time because it was during a Cowboys game.
Wait a minute, but you could have watched Monday Night Football in Detroit or wherever you're from.
No, because I'm driving.
Oh, you'd have to drive like that day. Oh yeah, hell no.
It's like 22
no way.
hours.
Nope.
And I was hoping, because I'm going out to Plano on the 8th and the 9th for work. And,
oh, nice.
I as an award. and I was like, oh, let me check and see, because I was thinking, okay, if there's a Sunday game, I can go out, early, and catch a game. Well, nope, that's the Monday night that we're in Detroit. I'm like, motherfucker.
Yeah,
I was like, son of a bitch.
You can hang out with Sue.
Hey, let me say something real quick. Hey, Joseph. First off, what up, brother? Second off, the trick to get into the show. This is what you got to do. Don't spam the call button because you'll never get in that way. None of us have a bat phone when we get in all the time, right? So what you got to do, wait until you think there's like 10 seconds or so left in the call that you're listening to at the moment, and then start hitting the dial button at that point, and you'll get in. If you just do that every time during the show, you'll get in 100% of the time. That's the way you do it. So
did he just ask that?
yeah, you missed it. You didn't hear him? Nah, he sent me a message.
Oh, okay. I was like, shit. I can't hear that.
I didn't hear him either, Irene.
Paula,
Yeah, no, it was a message.
Paula, why don't you ever call in? You went to Oxnard. Nick would be like, oh my God, it's Paula from Oxnard. You should try calling in.
Because I work during the day.
Go take a bathroom break
we
or
all
something.
do.
I work in an office.
Yeah, go take a bathroom break or like go do something. Can you go for a walk or something?
Tell him you got to make an important call to your uncle.
Yeah, exactly. Uncle Nick.
I want to go back to my hybrid where I work from home Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, but that's not going to happen.
That's too bad.
Working from home is the best.
I know. Trust me, I get more done at home.
But Paula, you say something funny because there are people who call into the show and they're like, oh, hi, I've been listening for 2.5 years, and I haven't called in because I work. And I'm like, you know what? We all work. So
yeah, but it's easier when you work from home.
Some of our jobs are a little more lenient, to be fair.
No, it's for sure. But it's just funny. I'm like, what are you implying by this statement?
Do you remember when Jeremy's very first call? I remember it was like, why does Rob get to be the captain? Because he doesn't work and he gets to dial in more than everybody else.
It was so funny. That was an all-timer.
I was dying.
Hey, I was happy to hear from him today, though. So.
Yeah. Oh, me too. Well, actually, I didn't listen to the call, but I know he called.
Oh yeah, you got to listen. Yeah.
I will.
You figure out the reason why he hasn't been calling much.
Oh.
It's not a bad thing. But
I heard about.
No spoilers.
About his dad, but like it wasn't because of that. He had to call for another reason, so you'll find out when you listen.
Yeah.
But
no, I heard it was like they're like spying on him in his car, which seems weird.
Yeah. The camera, put the cameras in.
But I don't understand what did he do? Because there's only 2 people in. I remember in Oxnard, he ended up having to leave a day earlier than expected because there's only one other person in his region who does
something with phones.
What does he do? What's his job?
It's just some sort of insurance thing. It's not like anything that should need spying in the car. To be honest with you, at least the official story. I don't know what he actually does.
He's actually in the mob. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah,
dude, I'm the one who said that. I witness protection. What I said.
Yeah, because he said because on the call, right. he said he worked for a phone company out there. So
phone.
That's
is it phone?
That's the new age recycling trash company.
I work for the phone insurance.
No, it might have been phone. I don't remember.
He's in waste management.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
That's so funny. I mean, they do have a lot of people out there for sure in the desert hiding out.
I know. I watched Casino. I know all about it. I'm an expert.
I drove out
full
there.
Of holes. The desert's full of holes.
And you got to bury the hole before you go out there. You might have to dig 2 more of them.
Yep.
I drove an hour outside of the strip on a guy's golf trip out there to a place called Coyote Springs. And on the way out there, we were all just sitting there like it was like all looking to the left and right of us. It was an hour into the desert, and somebody had to say it. So eventually, I was just like, "Man, there are a lot of places to bury dead bodies out here."
Someone had to say it. They had to.
And it had to be Travis.
It was me.
Hey,
it's gonna be me.
Since you can't get into the show, chat with us here. What's up? How you doing? Are you there?
Nice one, Irene. That was a good little segue.
That was a great segue. Yeah. I see. Why he changed from listener to speaker, so I thought.
Yeah, if you ever want to get rid of anybody, just come out and visit me because there's a lot of desert out here.
You know a spot?
Nobody will ever find anything.
Oh my God. It's that sunshine is the thing on the iPhone. Remember when you first got iPhones, you said, "Where's a good place to put a dead body?"
Oh yeah.
And Siri would say, "Go see sunshine in Arizona."
Oh
There you
man,
go.
that was so long ago. Oh my gosh,
I
that
know,
was so
yeah,
that was,
amusing.
remember that was the thing in Cal. Everyone was like, "Dude, check how funny this is."
Yeah,
You
Yeah.
go play
that was
side,
so
dead body.
amusing.
And now it's like I cannot answer that question.
You can't even ask it now, or else you get raided.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now you
Yeah.
gotta talk to Brock.
My friend and I at
What's
work,
up,
we
guys? I'm
tease
finally
about that,
here.
like,
How are you?
Hey.
Man, it's Joe from
Hey.
New Jersey.
What's up,
What's up?
Joseph?
How you doing?
What's going on, dude?
Hey, man, I'm all right. No, but listen, I just want to say something to you guys. I always try to call on the show every day, and it's impossible to get in, but I appreciate all you guys. Like, hearing you guys every day is just awesome. So I just wanted to let you guys know that.
Hey, did you hear my tip a minute ago about getting in?
I did, man. Yeah.
Try it. If you want to
Thanks,
get in,
Dylan.
no pressure.
Like I said, man, I always try, but it's nearly impossible, So,
So
but while I have you guys on here, what are you guys thinking about possibly changing this, changing our defense to a 4-3? I mean, I think maybe changing the whole scheme may work for this team. What do you guys think?
hey,
Well,
that's more exciting. Do we have the guys?
but
Or you mean later? Like a long-term plan?
yeah.
Yeah, like a long-term plan.
Or next year?
What do you guys think about that?
I think there's so many hybrids. Like you can play both 4-3 and 3-4 often. Like you can
True.
change. You can play 5-man fronts. And the Cowboys have the personnel.
To convince me to play a 3-4.
I think the Cowboys have the personnel to play both. If they had Parsons and Overshown, right, and both were healthy, like that would be an absolute
Oh,
no-brainer.
and Quennin Williams.
And Quennin Williams. Yeah,
Yeah,
Quennin
true,
Williams.
true.
That's a no-brainer. But Azaraku too. I mean, he's coming along, so
he looks good.
Could be an option.
Yeah. All right. Cool. I was just thinking what you guys thought.
Yeah, I would never be against that. I don't know that Eberflus would be the person to usher that in, but I'm not committed to holding on to him either. So that's for sure. That's
We know.
nice way to
We
say
know.
that.
I don't think any of us are committed to holding to him. But,
I'm trying not to be
unfortunately,
as
have a
mean.
choice.
I'm trying not to be as mean because I'm like, that's a person too, and all that.
I know.
But
And my thing is too. It's like I would feel bad for the players because then here we go starting over again.
right.
That's the other part that sucks.
Well, that's why part of me is like, okay, well, if you keep someone who's already on your staff, there's at least that continuity of the voice,
Yeah.
even if the play calls are just kind of like Schottenheimer. I mean, the reality is last season when we started to go on our mini run that, didn't amount to anything really, but we stacked together some wins that we, maybe necessarily shouldn't have. It was Schottenheimer starting to call the plays in Washington. That was when he started calling the plays. And
Very
it looked
true.
different, right?
Yep. 100%.
I agree with
Hey, Rick, what's up?
Sunshine. How you doing? I agree with Sunshine. I don't think you with Schottenheimer and everybody. I don't think unpopular opinion. I don't think Flus is going to be going next year. They want to continuing thing. And so if he gets, we got Quentin Williams, you got Logan Wilson next year's draft. He might have a whole different team that he can work with.
Yeah, I think you might be right.
I think it depends on these next 8 games. It can't be if it's just as bad, Rick. There's no possible way you can bring him back. You just can't.
Well, if they lose, but badly this year, yeah, they might change. But if it seems like getting better, he's not going anywhere.
For sure. Yeah. I agree. Like I kept saying like this is answer season. It's answer season for him. And I think part of the reason they made these trades for people that are like, wow, don't the Cowboys know they have a small chance? Yeah, they know, but they're trying to find out some things. So like I said, if we see some flashes and we see some consistency from the defense and better performances, okay, fine. Yeah, then it sort of answers, is this a player issue, a scheme issue, or whatever. But if it looks just as bad, just as unorganized, we're still having communication issues, then I go, okay, man, it can't be a year, different players in and out of communications issues and busts in the back end, and you still don't have it right, then yeah, you got to go.
That's been my whole point the whole time. When we look like we don't know what the fuck we're doing all the time, and we always look like we don't know what the fuck we're doing. It's one thing to lose or not get there athletically or whatever, but when you just don't know what's going on and it looks like that from an average fan can see it. That's where I'm like, I don't, that's all you need to see. I mean, it was the same way, with Nolan, dude. I mean, it got so fucking bad with Mike Nolan, you guys. You remember, right?
Oh yeah.
There was
Oh yeah.
just no fucking way, even
Oh my
because the
God, it was
players.
awful.
Well,
Nolan
and
was
that's the thing.
terrible.
The problem is the players are, at some point they're going to check out like they did with Nolan on that 2020 season, and you just can't keep the guy.
Yeah, 100%.
And that's
sorry.
part of my concern is that these players aren't buying in, and if they're not buying in, then you're going to lose the defensive locker room.
They look like they've never bought in.
Yeah, they never bought in from the beginning.
Joseph, you wanted to say something? Let Joseph say something, then go ahead. Let's go to Joshua after that.
Yeah, sorry guys. Like, you know what bothers me most though? Seeing the pre-snap stuff where they look lost out there. Like Diggs when he was healthy, pointing around, like pointing fingers. Like, I'm sorry, that's that's coaching too. I mean, I'm sorry, that definitely falls on Eberflus 100%. His job is to get these guys ready to play before the snap, all that, and that's to me is the most troubling spot at this point.
A lot of that goes back to like the zone stuff too, which I know you can't just sit here and play man down after down. You got to mix in some zone. But I mean, you saw going back to that Green Bay game, the players on this team defensively, especially in the secondary, or specifically in the secondary, they can't play zone defense very well. They don't understand it, and so like until they get a coach that can make them understand it, you just can't play predominantly zone, no matter like what deficiencies you think they have defensively.
100%.
Joshua, what up?
100%. Yeah, I 100% agree with everything you guys are saying about Flus. And I'm in the same boat. Like, I'm kind of done with him. But I think with Jerry's most recent comments, even the trades, I think that's hard that we don't get him through at least halfway through next season, depending on how it goes. I just think that Jerry wants to have continuity and have him here for more than 1 year. And he's got history and legacy with the organization. And I don't like that, but I just think that's the way it's going to be.
Yeah, unfortunately, I agree with you. I don't think as much as everybody wants it, and no matter how ugly it gets, I think he's going to get the kind of like how Jason Garrett kept his job for so long, where it was like this injuries to Romo and key players would happen, and he would keep his job, and he would kind of rally at the end of the season. They finish 8-8, 8-8. I think it's going to be something similar here for Flus, where like you were bad for so long and you did have some key injuries. You're getting some guys back, so hypothetically you should be better, but then you can say, well, 2 of these guys weren't in camp with us. 2 of these guys are coming from major injuries and we didn't have 100%. Let me get, another season to really show what I can do here. I think that's going to be, unfortunately, probably the case no matter how bad this thing looks.
And I want to say something about this too, is I know Nick has been very against the whole preseason thing, how like playing in the preseason. Yeah. But I really think, let's say, I still think, again, if it's the same and we keep having the same bust, there are some things with him this year that you can look at and you go that you just can't justify the decisions that Eberflus has made in some spots. But going forward, I don't want to hear. I'm sorry. Like, as far as the defense goes, they got to play in the preseason. Like this, if they don't play, if you want to see me blow my you want to trigger. Stu was talking about triggers. If you want to see me get triggered, if they keep Flus and they don't play guys in the preseason and games 1 through 4 in 2026, communication, I am going to lose my ever flipping mind. I do not want to hear it.
Yeah,
I don't care if it's vanilla. Play them and figure out the communication issues before. I do not want to go 4-6 weeks of next year. Well, we're still having communication issues from 2025 week 2. No, dude. Yeah.
Well, I mean, it's not like they don't have practice though, too. I mean, they're going, live in practice. I mean, that's where you should be able to figure out. Well, that's where you should be able to figure out any communication issues should be figured out in practice, whether it's preseason, practice in the preseason, or if it's training camp. Like, you shouldn't have to go play preseason games to figure out your communication issues. If it takes you to put your elite players in a preseason game to figure out how to talk to each other and identify what you're supposed to do on the field and how to line up and shit, like, that's a problem to me. That goes even further than just playing in the preseason.
Well, that's my point. I'm already there, Travis. I'm already.
Well, yeah, that's what Jeremy's saying though. Like he's had this long, Dylan, to figure it out, and it still hasn't got better in the back end. So like I can't imagine if it stays the same for the rest of the year. How can we sit here and say like, oh, you can't bring it. You cannot go a whole year and have the communication issue and go, oh yeah, it'll probably be better next year. Really? What would suggest to you it's gonna be better next year?
Well, if they can't get it together in 17 games, how are they going to get it together in 2 or 3 games in the preseason? Like,
and that's fair. That's what I'm saying. That's why I'm saying you can't keep him because if they do, then you got to exhaust every opportunity to figure out this super complex communication that apparently nobody can understand but him. So if it's just as bad, he has to go.
But it's not just him, and it's not just his defense. It's these players that we specifically have in the secondary cannot play a large amount of zone coverage because we saw under Dan Quinn.
Why are you doing it?
Here's your casino quote then, right? Either way, you're out, dude. If you didn't see it fucking coming, then you're incompetent, dude. And if you did, you were in on it, dude. Either way, you're out, dude.
I love it.
I like that.
I know exactly what you're talking about. I love it.
Yeah, it's either Jeremy. I'll
That's
say
a
it,
great
Jeremy.
quote.
It's either I've always said this. It's either ignorance or stupidity. Either way, it's not a good defense.
Fucking A. That's all. That's how I'll.
Dude, I watch that movie every time I go on an airplane, and I can hear that quote right now as you're saying it. I've watched that movie probably 20 times. I love it, dude.
Yeah, fucking Momo.
That's great.
You didn't see it coming.
Oh, Jesus Christ. I see Joshua's got his hand up. Is that from before, Joshua, or you got something else?
I don't know if it's still up from before, but I agree with everything you guys are saying. And I called in after the Panthers game and basically said, like, I think this team's biggest problem is from Wednesday to Friday. It's not on Sunday. This is getting in the right headspace. This is film study. This is doing the right things during the week.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, like, I'm all about that with Flus too, but I just think like Jerry didn't want him to leave when he left to go be the coordinator in India, I think was where he went right after being a linebackers coach. And I think he wants to keep him. And I don't agree with that, but I think that's just what it is.
And they hated him out there in Indy, by the way. I got a buddy who's a Colts fan, and they could not stand this guy.
And I come from Chicago, man, and they hated him in Chicago, you know?
Yep.
Well, luckily, I will give them a little bit of credit. The front office has. I'm gonna shoot myself in the what here by saying Nick said it. I was the last supporter on the Mozzie train, but you got to give them credit. They have admitted mistakes at least this year and fixed them. So I mean, again, maybe y'all are right, but I'm gonna lose my mind if they decide to keep him. And I swear to God, if we have to hear about weeks 1, 2, 3, and 4 next year, communication busts in the back end. I won't even be on the call because I'm gonna.
And that goes back to
sweating right now thinking about it.
That goes back to what was just said though. Your Wednesday through Friday, because those are the things you don't need preseason for that. You need to show up during the week, Wednesday through Friday, put in the work.
Apparently, he does.
I mean, but I really don't think 3 preseason games, all of a sudden now these guys can play zone defense because they played a handful of preseason games. You know what I mean? Like you get all of training camp, you get all of this entire season practices Wednesday through Friday to go and figure out what the hell you're doing. Like if you're outmatched and you're just getting beat up by the other team, that's one thing. But like the guys are constantly in the wrong spot, and that's because of their, I don't know if it's lack of effort, but it's their lack of understanding, which is attributed to the training camp and during the practices during the season.
Hey,
but that's coaching.
The best coaching guys I ever knew told me the smartest thing, one of the best things I ever heard as a salesperson. If they're confused, then you're fucking confusing. Right? If they are confused, you are confusing. And you're not going to communicate.
But to be fair, we saw under Dan Quinn as well, though. So that's 2 guys. So is it 2 DCs that confuse them, or is it the players that just aren't smart enough?
Dan Quinn just, it was a different problem then. It was that we just didn't have enough bigger guys to fucking, if the offensive line got to the second level, we couldn't block the run, right? So...
Well, not necessarily. Like you go back and look at that Green Bay game, you know why guys were wide open. I mean, they played predominantly zone coverage in that game, and they were forced to because of the injury. Now, obviously, you played a lot of man that year, and so you have a week to figure it out. So maybe that's not fair of me to say, right?
And they put a banged up Gilmore because they didn't trust.
Well, and because of that reason, they had to go play more zone coverage, and they sucked at it.
Hilarious. But you know what's hilarious? I'm gonna bring it back in NFL terms. ironically, they didn't play. They had to play Gilmore, who was banged up because they didn't trust their cornerback depth behind him, who was one Nashon Wright, who is playing in Chicago.
Well,
And playing well.
the other thing too is keep in mind, even Dan Quinn had to dumb it down, and
Yeah,
so
that's
did
true.
Zimmer. Both
but
of our defensive coordinators, the last 2 ones that we've had, have had to dumb it down for these players.
yeah, but here's the difference to me with Dan Quinn to what Jeremy was saying. Dan Quinn wasn't stubborn enough to go, okay, like he was quick enough to go, like, this isn't working.
Right.
To Dylan's point, him saying, like, the guys don't understand zone, that's fair and that's fine. If I was coaching a high school team and they didn't understand zone, but I was like, I don't care if you guys suck at it, you're going to keep doing this till you get it. And we keep getting just annihilated in the past. You know what? If I don't meet my players where they're at, which is a part of coaching, and say, let's play more man, you guys want to, like, you're more comfortable with that. Again, I said the Pop Warner thing. Hey, 7, you got 4. 8, you got 2. Don't, just keep it simple. Like, if you don't do that, you're a bad coach too. Like, it can't just be, hey, we suck at this, so we're going to keep doing it.
Yeah, but that's what Rod Marinelli did. So
I don't care.
And that's where he comes from. He comes from Rod Marinelli's defense.
Then he's gonna be in the same place Rod Marinelli is, not on coach on this team.
Hey,
you started with
you're preaching to the choir, Travis.
He actually started with Rob Ryan.
I see Rick's got his hand. Let me go to Rick real quick. I see he's got his hand up. What up, Rick?
I was gonna say with Dan Quinn, the good thing about Dan Quinn, he was willing to switch and try to use the player's skills to best of his ability. The problem you're saying part of the problem is back then they couldn't stop the run, but they had a pass rush, so the cornerbacks didn't look like they were actually done on understanding because they were covering it for a short time. They get the sack. Oh, okay. This year you can't get the pass rush. So the defense, the cornerbacks and the safeties look real bad because they're covering these people or zoning, and they just can't do it the whole time.
Yeah,
you can't cover somebody consistently the whole time, and they have all the time in the world, the quarterback to throw something. They're not getting a pass rush. So if they were getting a pass rush, then that's what they were saying. The front 7, if you get a pass run, that helps the secondary.
It's all a holistic thing, right? It's all tied together. So, like, you're 100% right. A good pass rush covers up a lot of stink in that secondary. With you 100%.
Yeah, I was gonna say, Dylan, too. Talking about all the corners and all this crap on defense that we're putting together on the field. I think we always forget too that the loss of Al Harris. I mean, he had these corners playing stout, So that's another huge loss for this defense this year. I think
that was my vote for DC, Joseph. But apparently I was crazy, and maybe he didn't want the job. That's possibly a thing, but that's 100% where I would have gone with it. I don't understand why. It's it's hilarious. It's hilarious that we talk about, like, well, they may keep him because Jerry may have let the guy out the door. Well, you may have let the guy that actually had your cornerbacks playing well out the door
100%.
just now again. You just made the same mistake.
But, okay, there's something there that I think is probably BS, but Nick keeps implying it, and I think somebody else, maybe Broadus, has said there was some sort of tension there between Zimmer and Al Harris, which I don't really get. I don't really understand at all. But clearly all the players, every time they see him, they're like, oh, best coach. I've seen them retweet that Al Harris is the best coach, and I know their opinions aren't necessarily always right, but it's just something strange seems to have happened with Al, and I don't get it because we all loved him.
Yeah, no, something's definitely there because you got two different guys saying it, so something was cooking. They can't tell us all the details. I'm pretty sure they know what it was. They just can't tell us about it.
Oh, yeah, I'm
sure.
Al
wanted to leave at the end, too, I think, too. Al was pretty much done with the team at the end, too. I wanted to get out of there and go somewhere else with some stuff I've heard.
Sort of like the Raiders and Antonio Pierce, how the Raiders were all ready to play for him, even when he was the DC, and then he became the interim head coach. And, like, granted, that was short-lived, but you can see with the Raiders that, they don't have their zeal. You know what I'm saying? They don't have that same
Yeah.
zeal that they had. So it kind of coincides with the whole Al Harris thing. Me personally, first off, what's going on, panel?
Yo.
How's it
It's
going?
nice to see everybody tonight. If anybody is going through a tough time in your lives, I don't care if it's the smallest thing, please do not hesitate to ask for help. Okay?
I'm gonna message the basement.
You know what I'm saying?
Hell yeah.
I love it, dude. Love it. Good stuff.
Right. So
Same goes to you, man. Same goes to you.
I just wanted to put that out there. But for the most part, man, when it comes to this defense, oh boy, when it comes to this defense, before there is no absolute way that everybody on this defense became trash at the same time. There was absolutely no way. Okay, like you can say, well, it's the players. The players are trash. No, I'm sorry. The scheme matters. Here's why I say that. Look at Rico Dowdle. You know what I'm saying? Like last season, Rico Dowdle was 1,000-yard back. But I'm gonna stick to my gun, stand 10 toes down, and say this again. If Rico Dowdle would have gotten a start in the beginning of the year, he would have been a 1,400-yard back. He is on pace to be a 1,400-yard back right now.
Hey,
Coaching matters.
You got in here right before me. You want me to give you the one I gave you just before you got in here? That's hilarious.
Yes, please.
The guy that we refused to play, or that the Cowboys were scared to play in the Green Bay playoff game, that was behind Gilmore when Gilmore was banged up and they had to play Gilmore because he was hurt. They didn't want to play Nahshon Wright, but yet Nahshon Wright is back with Al Harris in Chicago and playing. I'm not saying playing at Pro Bowl, but playing pretty good, better than he played here.
Exactly.
So I mean, just to your point, I mean, I'm just saying, like, pretty funny that the guy that we were like, man, get Nahshon's ass out, like he sucks, and then he goes, and it's like, okay. Well,
So
there you go.
what I hear you guys saying is that we should play Nate Thomas then. Like who are the people?
Well, we should play Nate Thomas. I agree with that.
I think we should play more Marist, and I'm not saying that Overshown, but I think with Logan Wilson, I asked on the call. I didn't get a chance to actually listen to the answer, but I think if you don't have to trust him to like line people up, he can just be a bullet flying around that field, you know?
Marist should be the Sam in the base. It should be Wilson, Overshown, and Marist. You need to have more Carson. In my opinion, it needs to be Kalen Carson, Savone Ravel, and Bland this week. Like all the guys, like I need to see more of those guys. And it looks like I don't wish this to happen to anybody, but I said to people the only way we're going to see Perrion is from natural selection. And it looks like if Solomon doesn't get back from his calf this week, which calves are tricky, like rest him, then we might actually get to see Perrion this week too. So
see, that's my thing. Like, why is it that we have to play the non-merit game? Like, why do we have to follow the money? I don't care about money, and at this juncture, I don't think the defensive coordinator should either. You see who's better on the field. You see it. Use it. We see it. For God's sakes, ESPN sees it. Who takes ESPN serious?
So who are you saying, like in that regard? Like who do you want to see in?
Trash. It's called the politics, is what it is.
Are you talking?
You know who's been actually hitting on it? Acho. He's not with ESPN, but off of FS1, he literally has been hitting the deficiencies of Dallas defense like on point. And I hate Acho, like really hate his takes usually, but he's been hitting. If you watch a couple of his videos that he's posted, even on X.
Broken clocks, man. No, just kidding.
So when we talk about follow the money, who are we talking about specifically? Name a couple players.
To the basic point, though,
well, probably right now, Osa.
We don't have time this year. We don't have time this year if we're trying to make a run to worry about politics or money or all that stuff.
Right. Okay. So Osa, that's one that I agree with that. Although now, though, with Quennin,
Carson.
I think with Quennin and Osa taking less double teams, you might see something different there.
Yeah, I think they're gonna all benefit with all the additions of everybody coming. Everybody's gonna benefit.
The ball is
100%.
spread
Osa
out.
was also had offers from
DBs will be
multiple
better
other
too. I
teams.
feel too.
I'll say this
I'm
about
with
Osa.
Rashawn.
I was very against the Osa, and I know we got a special deal on it. He gave us a little discount, but I didn't want to bring Osa back because he sucks against
Yeah.
run. He's sucked against run his entire career, and that's not what we needed up front in the middle of the defense. So I didn't
I
want to
don't
bring him
disagree
back,
with
but
you,
But you know why?
but
But you know
he
why?
just
But you know why they did it, right?
Stability.
Nope.
No. It was a pay all of the guys after trading
They
Micah. So
they
No, they
do
paid
they
him first, but
but they do this right. And I've said this to people before when we were talking about the basement. You remember me talking about like when we were talking about the Simmons stuff and Quennin Williams.
Yeah.
yeah.
I asked. I'm going to do this again real quick. This is just a fun experiment. I mean, Dylan just kind of said it, but like going into before they paid him, what is Osa's like? What's his bag? Is it run defense or is it pass game? It's pass
it's
game.
pass rush, obviously. Yeah.
Pass game.
What's his career high in sacks ever for a season? I know sacks are not everything, but
5.
like
five
four,
to six,
4.5.
4.5.
Oh.
Work, yeah, I think.
When
it
I was
like,
talking about getting Jeffrey Simmons, and Quentin Williams, who are better run players, like we've seen Quentin Williams grade as a 90 overall run grade. Anyone know what his career high in sacks are, or what Jeffrey? It's 12 for Quentin, and Jeffrey Simmons had 4.5 like 3 weeks ago. So it's like, then why did they pay Osa? Because if they pay Osa, it's like a pat on the back of like they hit a pick.
They paid Osa because they always pay their guys on their second contract that they like, and their second contracts always bite them in the ass.
And
I mean,
if
it's
you give
more
them that
times than
second
not.
that's very
contract,
true. You're not wrong on that.
If you give them that second contract though, what does that mean? It signals to the entire league, oh look, they hit on Osa.
And it's not like Osa is like a bad
Did they-
player,
I'm
but
not
like
saying he's bad.
I know you're not. I know you're
It
not.
just gives them options. It gives them options
Right.
that he's a trade value for next year because we could keep Kenny and we still have a back to play
I think if
with.
someone's going to be out, I think it is going to be Kenny because there's no guarantees on his contract left. So he's either going to have to
Yeah,
rework his deal or I think
agree.
he's going to be
They better
gone.
I'm going to be
I
honest.
think they're gonna rework though.
I'm going to be honest with the addition of Quentin Williams. I think we keep Kenny.
Same.
I think we need to.
Do you think you keep
You think we
Kenny,
do?
Osa, and
I think we
I
keep
think they
Kenny.
rework Kenny's
It's not.
contract.
Honestly, I don't think it's about. I don't think this is. I don't think keeping Kenny has anything to do with Osa. I think keeping Kenny has something to do with Perrion Winfrey.
Yeah.
but money wise,
And
you're
don't
talking about
forget,
60.
Kenny's got a house
You're talking
there
about
now.
$65 million between the three of them. So do you think
But
that's
Dylan, but
feasible?
not-
Listen, you gotta put it.
How do we know
You
that?
gotta
how
build
do we know
that middle.
Kenny-
I don't
No,
think
no.
Kenny's gonna get 20 though. He's gonna get if he's willing to take less, which I think he will be at this point in his career, and I think
Yeah.
he's gonna see the benefit, Dylan, of playing next to Quentin.
Yep.
And the other thing you got to think about is if they draft another edge, say they draft the kid out of Texas A&M, Cassius Howell, you're gonna be not paying your two top edges are getting paid rookie contracts.
And don't forget, Kenny's already bought a house there. He's moved his family there.
Yeah, he's there.
No
long
doubt.
term.
And now I'm just looking at the numbers as they exist today. I agree.
Yeah.
I think there's a good chance Kenny probably reworks his deal, right? And it helps the Cowboys. It would be nice to have all three of those guys, right? And
That
then
would
I
be
don't know
great
what
if
you
he
do with
reworks it.
Solomon
and keep Solomon. Yeah, I think, and then you just still have Jay Toy just sitting, for practice squad or whatever.
But see, that's the beauty of having Quentin Williams and Kenny Clark. They are
Yep.
both super beneficial for Jay Toia. Super beneficial. You know what I'm saying? Like, and being so Jay Toia is literally the only 340 plus guy we got. Having Quentin Williams is definitely gonna help him out in the long run. Not
Can I also
Go ahead.
talk about long run on how it's going to affect the other side? Listen, like that's going to be iron sharpen iron. That's going to help Tyler Booker, Tyler Smith. Everybody got to practice against them
Cooper
in training
BB.
camp. All Cooper BB. Yeah. Oh my God. We just need to build that right tackle, and we'll be straight. I think
I mean-
I like Nate though. I like what y'all was saying about Nate. I have faith in him, but he gonna have a dog in Max Crosby to stop. So we gonna see that.
Yeah, we just got to slide. If he plays this week, they just got to slide the line and give him let Brevin span more Brevin span forward on the right side and let him.
Mm-hmm.
He needs help him chip and do all that type of. So you can cover like Dylan was saying, you can cover up one tackle. I think you take your chances on the left side with Guyton and Kuntz, and you just slide the line to the right and help out Guyton or help out Nate Thomas. To your point, give him some chips. I tell you what, man, a chip from Javante is.
Yeah, I was
man,
about
he
to
is-
say that. Boy,
bro,
he's
he
a
has
blocker.
decleated some people on
Looking
chips this year.
like Zeke back in them days.
Yeah,
Boy,
dang.
oh
Yeah.
Lord.
Maybe even
And
better
that's-
actually.
We just
I
need
got a
some. So if
question
he's
for
going to
you
be hitting
guys.
like that, though, we got to get him another running back because he can't be just taking all of that brunt of the load and
Hey,
carries and hitting everybody. Like that's going to long run.
Bro,
That's going to bring a toll on him.
talk about Javante
should we all
Williams
go
hitting
bug?
people. Man,
Should we all go bug and then try to get it?
his blocks in that Arizona game, bruh.
Maybe we
I,
get Phil Maffa back or something, and maybe he learned to block like that too. We be straight because he
It
got a
does,
body like that to
yeah.
do
I'd
that.
like to see Maffa. It doesn't sound like he's coming back there from what Nick Eatman's saying on his
Like
show.
they don't like none of their rookie running backs for whatever reason. They drafted them. And
No,
them
Blue.
just like,
Blue is he's too afraid of contact, is what I'm hearing from Blue, and obviously we
well,
see it in the game too.
that's
He really is
fine.
hesitant.
If
But
you're like
Maffa,
that, then
like,
you got to be more shifty. Then you got to
yeah,
be
no
more
doubt.
shifty
I'm
and
dying
go
to see
around,
Maffa.
run away from tackles. Don't run into if you're not going, accept contact and run through. You don't got the body to run through. Like Turpin, you don't got
dude,
Turpin get touched. The minute he touches, he's down. It's over.
Hey, I see.
yeah,
I see Sergeant Fox has got his hand up.
Oh,
Go ahead,
sorry
Rick.
about that, boss. Go ahead, dude.
No, you're good. You're good.
No, but getting back to a couple of things.
Nope, that was my bad. Unmute yourself, Sergeant Fox. Unmute yourself. That was my bad. I was trying to give someone.
Geez, you give Travis co-hosting responsibilities for 1 minute, and he ruins the whole thing.
Come on, man.
Now with Maffa, he's healthy, but he has the same thing as Mingo and Winfrey. It's just who do you take off the field to get him on the field? All right. The other thing too, and they haven't opened his 21 window anyways, but that could just take 1 day. He could be on the field. But a question I have for you on the right tackle thing, if you two things with their right tackle there, and next year you release Steer and Steele, are you going to go look for a right tackle in free agency, or are you going to try to draft one?
I'm moving Guyton over, and then I'm having Nate Thomas start at left, and maybe drafting a left tackle if I'm drafting anything.
But I was saying from I heard, Guyton's only played right tackle for less than a year. He has more experience at left tackle than he does at right tackle.
I think in order to make that decision,
in college, he was a right tackle, which is a funky thing. He was a right tackle when he came out.
Yeah, for the last year, but the previous years he was a left tackle.
But my thing is, at the right tackle position, there's a little bit less of a responsibility. With the left side, you got the quarterback's blind side. So
yeah, that's all I was gonna say. Angry. That's what I'm trying to tell Rick is Rick. He was a right tackle, but actually because their quarterback was left-handed, which I know is kind of weird, he was actually the blind side blocker. Even though he was on the right side at Oklahoma, he was technically like their blind side blocker. But it just makes it weird because of friggin' lefties.
But here's what you can do to make that decision easier for next year is right now, today, right? Because Terrence Steele's not going to be here. Like I'm pretty confident he's not going to be here next year. We talked about it earlier. Okay, go put in Mr. Thomas at right tackle. See what he can do. Give him a full game. If he's absolutely abysmal and getting Dak killed, I guess you got to put Terrence Steele back, and I don't know what else you can do in that situation. But at least see what he can do. And if he plays well this game and maybe the remainder of the season or a few games and you see some improvements, well, now you know what your right tackle is going to look like. Now you got a decision to make at left tackle. You're going to keep rolling with Guyton. You're going to try Guyton at right. Like, what are you going to do with Guyton now? Because now you got one of those two positions shored up. But we can't go into the draft next year with both of our tackles looking like absolute trash. You got to have a better idea, at the very least, of what Nate Thomas can do. And if not that, then I think you got to know what Guyton can do at right tackle at some point. If it gets to that point, I'm not moving him until the season is completely lost. But if it gets to that point, I am moving Guyton to the right side to see what he can do at the right tackle spot.
My sentiments exactly.
I agree.
What's going on, Angry?
Biggest pet peeve for Nate Newton is moving some. You're playing this guy for 2 years at left tackle. Oh, let's move him to right tackle. Or playing this guy all the time. Let's wait. Newton's put one guy at one position and let him play that position. If he stinks after you look, then you get rid of him. Or you try to play something. Or you try to keep consistency with consistency and try to instead of moving people around all the time.
But Fox, this is why they drafted Guyton as well as Cooper BB. One of the prerequisites in that draft was position flex.
Mm-hmm.
And what's going on, Basement Boys? And Yo, Fresh King, man, safe travels going out to that game.
Yes, sir. I fly out in the morning.
Um,
Can't wait.
I got a question for the panel. Does all right? As much as we're talking about left and right tackle and defense this and defense that. Now the defense, I understand everybody's concern, but offensively, here's my thing with that. Right, last season, these guys, it's out there. You know what I'm saying? For anybody to go listen to, it's out there. These guys, as far as Cooper BB year one, even Terrence Steele, they really didn't get much coaching. They really didn't. And this is year one of a new regime with Clayton Adams, who's probably top tier as far as offensive line coaches. Connor Riley, who's also top tier as far as offensive line coaches. So to expect these guys to get it year one is a little is a I think we're not being fair when it comes to the offensive line. Now we've seen growth. We've seen Cooper BB whoop feet. We've seen Booker come in and just start whooping feet. You know what I'm saying? We've seen Terrence Steele this season in the run game be very effective. Very effective. Even Guyton, very effective. Even when he slapped wholesale shit out of Morrow. That I thought that was funny. But yeah, when he slapped wholesale shit out of Morrow, you know, I think these guys just need another like this season right here, and then another full off season of continuity with these said coaches, and I think next season they will be a lot better. Now, and and in the offensive line's defense, I mean, even though in some cases they didn't really look all that great, Dak actually mitigated a lot of the problems.
Right.
And by being able to maneuver in the pocket and
And
extend
getting
the
that ball
play.
out quick too. He had
Yes,
people
indeed.
open so fast. So he
Oh
and
yeah,
we need to use floor knowing more. I just wanted to.
Mm-hmm.
I agree. I'm 100% on board with that.
Hey y'all,
Flournoy over
yeah,
Tobin.
I'm gonna
For sure.
crash, but good talking with you all. I kind of agree. We just got to run the ball more and get the play action going. That's the best for our line. That's best for our quarterback and our offense. But other than that, man, y'all have a great weekend. Let's go Cowboys. And hey, it's good talking to you all this week. It's been pretty therapeutic and cathartic. So stay well. Hit me up if you guys need me.
Yeah, good
Yes, sir.
talking to you,
Yes, sir.
Josh. Thanks for stopping by, bro. Catch you later.
Yep. See you guys later.
But yeah, I mean, going back to the tackles, I agree. Continuity, specifically as it comes to the offensive line, is so huge, and that's why like people are like, "Oh my God, we look better with the backups in and the interior offensive line." Well, it's because these guys haven't played together. Give them a few games to mesh and play together, and they'll be just fine, right? They're obviously the starters for a reason, but like the tackles, I feel like this is where it's hard from a tackle standpoint because if you get beat 4 or 5 times in a game, that can sink your entire game. Like your game can be ruined offensively. You know what I mean? That's 4 or 5 drives that are stalled because combined you gave up 4 or 5 sets, whatever it might be. And you're seeing it a lot from Steele and Guyton, where like they play okay for a while, and then they have just a colossal failure, and then they play okay for a little bit, and then it's a massive failure, and like those guys are on islands a lot of times, and you can visually see it without even having to go back and watch the all 22. You're seeing them get their asses whipped. So if they can improve, right? I mean, let's do it. Let's stick with these guys and improve. My worry is that specifically Guyton, I'm willing to give a little more leeway to, but specifically with Steele, right? He had the major injury. He really hasn't played the same since. He's kind of on the downturn of his career. I think he is a guy who probably won't be with the team next year, if I had to guess, unfortunately.
No, I agree with that. I don't think he'll be here either. I mean, yeah, I want to give Guyton grace, but Guyton deserves grace. Let's be clear. Guyton deserves grace. The kid only played 8 games in college, and we picked him up as the 24th pick in the first round. There's nothing he did in college in 8 games as a right tackle, not a left, as a right tackle to merit being a first round pick. He was already like when he was picked. Honestly, he was a project. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, he deserves grace. Yes, he was a first round pick, just like Amazi Smith. But as I don't know what we were seeing to merit him being a first round pick, But whatever it is, now we have no other choice but to deal with it.
They needed a left tackle, and they reached a little bit. Unfortunately for Guyton, so that puts him in the
I
best
can give a
spot.
little bit on that.
Let me say one thing real quick, and then I'll jump to
Yeah,
you,
do your
Fresh. The thing with Guyton, unfortunately, is that he's having to be left on an island so often because Terrence Steele is playing so bad for you, and so you're forced to help basically one or the other all these snaps, right? And it's leaving him on an island probably a little too often. All right, Fresh, let me go to you, and then somebody else had their hand up. I just saw it went away. So Fresh, go ahead, and if somebody else wanted to talk, go ahead and raise your hand.
Yeah, so with Guyton, with him yet being that 24th pick, I feel like he didn't have like the coach in his first year, as you said. So like you definitely gotta give him some grace at this point. And the thing is, I think why he has the mentality to work. That's the difference of him between Mozzie. Like the mentality to actually work and get better. Like you see it in him as
Oh yeah,
opposed
definitely.
to, the mentality of Mozzie. He's like his demeanor just doesn't, it never fits. It never fits. Whereas Guyton, he looks like he fits, and he's just gonna get better. Like I said, even the best of ours weren't, took some time to get there. So we got to give him, a couple of years maybe, but
Exactly.
just don't get that killed yet.
Yeah, not yet. It's like my issue with some of Cowboys Nation, not all of us, but with some of Cowboys Nation, we were ready after year one. We were ready to just trash him because we expected him to come in looking like a prime Tyron Smith. That's impossible. That's what I'm saying. Like, let's be honest. Booker is no.
Even he shifted his when he first got here. He was shifting through the line before we found the spot for him.
Exactly. You know what I'm saying? Like, Booker is no Zach Martin, but Booker has the pedigree, number one, and he has the tape and experience to merit his first round number 12 pick. You know what I'm saying? And he's actually pretty fucking good. You know what I'm saying? So like that merits that. In 8 games in college, only 8 games. He didn't play any more. He only played 8 games as a right tackle. You know what I'm saying? Like, he definitely deserves the grace of the bunch. You know what I'm saying? We would say the same about BB, but BB has showed to be pretty damn good as a 3rd-round pick, 2nd-round pick? I think it was a third round pick.
Third, yeah, he was a third.
You know what I'm saying? 3rd-round pick, and he's playing.
I think we got him and
he's playing like a Pro Bowler. You know what I'm saying? Like he actually stymied Dexter Lawrence and Quennin Williams. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Now he gets to do that on practice on a regular. He's just gonna be an animal. Oh my god.
Exactly.
Yeah. Hey, let me go to I think Davion had his hand up, and then Sergeant Sue. What up, Davion?
Yeah, I mean to chime in, I think honestly, the debate is going to be pretty much over if they're going to pull the trigger and put Nate Thomas out there and he solidifies that side. I think really TG, I'm with everybody. TG deserves the grace of basically having a chance to really go through a whole season because he's next to T Sizzle, and T Sizzle is still dealing with his tendonitis, so that's another issue too that you got to deal with it. I mean, it's gonna flare up on him from game to game, and basically he's trying to, basically power through. So if we can get our O line really getting in sync, which I hopefully did in the off week, I think we can try to do what we got to do to try to make a run at this. Because as long as that O line is straight, Dak can get back to his form that he was at early in the year. I think we'll be rolling like we need to roll to at least give a good run at this playoff run.
They at least got to be good in run offense, right? They got to be able to run block, which they've done a decent job at. We just get away from the run, unfortunately. But like you see Dak cooking when they're running the ball, right? And so like I don't need a 4-second pass pro from these guys. I need to run the ball well, and then I need Dak to be able to get 3 seconds to get the ball out, right? Which is what is the average time to sack, like 3.75 seconds or something like that. Like just give Dak a 3-second window to get this ball out, and he'll get it out. He can't have that immediate pressure in his face, and you can't get beat off the snap off that left or right side like we've been seeing these guys get whooped. It's all I'm asking for, that 3-second window from these tackles.
I agree with that. I want to see, because basically if you get the ball into either CD, GP, And like I was wanted to say also that Flournoy, I think he's gonna ascend to where we all think he should be, the number 3. And then you got Fergie out there too. So we got 4 good weapons to get the ball in the hand, and let them do what they need to do. All the O-line got to do is hold up, and we can cook.
I think we got to see more Flournoy over. I love Turpin, but I think we got to see more Flournoy over Turpin until we can figure out what we're going to be doing with Turpin. Hey,
I like to see Spanford a little bit on the passing game too. A little bit of Spanford.
I see our fearless leader Nick Eamon has joined the chat here. Let me send old boy an invite to jump in here and chit chat with us. Let me, Sue. I don't want to disrespect you though, brother. I saw you had your hand up. I don't want you to beat me up with the muscles.
Hey man, it's no worries, man. When Nick comes in here, he jumps to the front, man. So it's no worries.
What up, Mr. Eatman? How you doing, bro?
I'm good, man. I'm good, guys. It's actually Sergeant Sue is the one that when he just commented on one of my tweets and said "pop into space." I didn't even know what that meant at first. I was like, "What does that mean? Is that some cool phrase?" Pop into space. But then I figured out what it was.
6'7".
he thought I was challenging him to a street fight or something. I was like,
no, that wouldn't be much of a challenge. That wouldn't be much of a challenge, but no, it's good. Hey, though, seriously though, Sergeant, man, my son is like 10, so if you want to borrow one of his shirts, man, you can, because I know you like to rock out those muscles.
Yeah, man, I might be able to borrow his shoes too. I'm not a very tall guy. We know this, but
hey, is there anybody? So like last time I was on here, there was this guy that was on here all the time. His name's Davion, and I never saw him on the show. But he was rocking it in here, and then now he's on the show and stuff like that. Who's in here this chat that doesn't really call the show, but is like on here all the time that I haven't really met before?
Well, so Florida Sunshine is Paula, so you met her out in Oxnard.
Okay.
Yep. Hi.
And I was just telling her, I was like, you gotta call into the show and say hi to Nick, because we met him out there, and like you haven't called in, but she works, so she can't really call in very often or really at all.
Yeah, I mean, I made a rule that if you flew out to Oxnard, you're gonna be on the team. I mean, no doubt about it. Like you're on the team. Like it's part of it.
I'll be out there next week.
What's up?
Well, actually, I was out in Oxnard for training camp this year and a couple of years ago too. I go out there often for training camp.
I got to get out there too.
I never had the opportunity.
We're gonna need 3 houses, man.
Yeah.
We're gonna need like 3 or 4 houses.
Real quick.
Yeah, I'm coming next year.
Yeah, my parents live out in Hawthorne, so I fly out there and then I drive up.
Can y'all imagine if you just got like this big like neighborhood, like like 3 or 4 houses in one street? I don't even know if they do that, but maybe.
How many VIP tickets can you get us, Nick, next year?
Yeah, there you go.
I would love that. That would be amazing.
Yeah.
And Ventura is a beautiful town nearby. Well, it's basically the same town, but Ventura, if you out there, please visit that. It's a great town to visit.
I got a question for the panel. More importantly, for Mr. Nick Eatman.
Okay.
Concerning these 2 first-round picks in 2026. Sorry, guys, I'm driving my Mustang home from work. If you wonder why it's so loud.
Good choice. That's actually what I drove to training camp.
Look at that big flex. I'm driving my Mustang.
Top
it's
down.
It's an 09. It's an 09. It's not brand new.
That's all right.
But concerning these first-round picks, right? Would you rather double dip defense or move back with one for a day 2, day 3?
Yeah.
A day 2 and a day 3.
I have a hard time thinking Jerry is and Steven and Will, they're going to be okay with not having a second and a third, not having any Friday pick. So I just feel like one way or another they're going to get there. I think a big question is what does Tyler Guyton show you in this last half of the season? Because if you feel like you still need help at offensive, then that's you might have to go get one, or left tackle, right tackle. I mean, one way or another, they don't.
He was taking more right tackle.
One, either move him or get a left tackle or see what Nate Thomas does or what. I don't think you have one that you feel great about.
So the big thing we were talking about before you jumped in here was specifically that with figuring out, obviously this thing's not over, and I think you can plug Nate Thomas in at right tackle immediately, and you can see what you without sinking your team, right? But at some point in time, if this thing does go south, and neither tackle is working out well, do you try Guyton at right tackle at some point to see if maybe he can play over there, and then go get yourself a left tackle in the draft?
I think so. I think those are things that you do probably if you don't, like if you don't beat the Eagles, and then I just think the Eagle, and I'm not looking past the Raiders. I just you don't beat the Raiders, then okay, now that changes everything. But I think if you don't beat the Eagles, then it's going to be a really, really uphill battle. And then when you get into that final 3 or 4 or 5 games, that's where I think you start doing that kind of stuff. But right now, they made the trade. They're going to see if they can, put together a run.
Would you play Nate Thomas this week at right tackle, or are you sticking with Steele?
I don't know what you guys think, but I like Steele. I don't have a problem with him. I really don't. The guy had migraines. I mean, for whatever the reason, Wanye Thomas is on an injured list with migraines. I've only covered 2 players in 27 years that had migraines, and they're in the last 3 weeks. So I don't know what's happening here, but he didn't play that well. He had migraines earlier in the day. They put him on questionable. I'm okay with him, but you've got to run the football and be physical, and I think that fits his style a little bit.
The only thing I threw out there, Nick, when we started the whole space, and that's fair, because I said, like, I keep saying it's answer season. Like, I'm trying to play Nate Thomas out there, and I've told people like that tell me like, oh, they're already decided like they don't want to do it because he can't play. And I'm like, well, we got to see a bigger sample size than what we've seen, but we got to do it because you can't be the person that says stick with Steele. I don't want to see Thomas at all, and then be upset when the draft rolls around and we take a tackle, because more than likely Steele's not going to be here. So I'm just trying to figure out. I'm hoping the team gets, and like you said, I don't think the switch will happen. Like, they won't move Guyton to right and then Thomas to left until it's like over, which I'm fine with. But I think, like, to your point, they've got to figure out, do we have something or do we not? Because they got to get the best plan together. And like, if people are going to be upset at draft time, just prepare yourselves, because if they don't see what Thomas has and then they go into the draft and they still don't know, I think it's like setting the team up for failure in a way.
That's a good point. That's fair. Yeah, that's a good point. And and there's 4 or 5 of those guys like that too, that you want to see a little bit more of too. Like I mean, Revel's going to have to play a lot at the end of the season if in that same scenario, and maybe Shamar James too. So.
And as far as the tackles go, like we said earlier, you can't have 2 bad tackles because you can't help both of them. So you gotta figure out how to get one of them playing well so you can help the other one out. And unfortunately for Guyton, he's been on an island a lot of times because Steele hasn't been playing well. And as a guy who's a developmental player, that's not a great solution. Let me go. I know we probably got some questions here for Nick. So Sergeant Sue, I know you had your hand up earlier. You popped off, but let me jump to you real quick, and then Angry Cowboy, I'll jump to you. Go ahead, David.
Yeah, I'll be quick, man. I just want to say that I might be alone in this, but for as well as the offense has been playing, if the defense had been playing like just decent, this record would look a lot different, and I don't think we'd be as crazy right now about the offensive line. Sure, we want them to play better in certain positions and stuff, but I feel like overall the offense has played well. I think that we may. I mean, this is me being hopeful. Y'all guys know me, but we may be seeing things a little bit differently after a few weeks if the defense does play a little bit better.
I'm sorry about that. I had to talk to my wife for a second. One question. Well, what'd you say, David?
I just shared an opinion about something, Nick. I wasn't asking that question. But I do want to remind the entire panel that we do record all the spaces, just so y'all know. So everything's recorded.
Oh, okay. Well, I'll tell you what, guys, like this week's shows, man, if you've been able to be on it and call, and it's been awesome. Everybody's kind of come together, and it's been a real joy to kind of get back into football and just kind of life with you guys and hear some of y'all's stories. Y'all put the story into StoryLine this week for sure. It's been great.
I know as men, it's not easy for a lot of us to be vulnerable, myself included, and all the calls, just to second that opinion, man. It was a very, very, very touching week and a really great week to reflect on all of our own lives and our friends and families and what we got going on. So 100% agree. 100% agree.
Yeah.
And Nick, it's transferred over into here because we had Josh, who hasn't. I don't know if he's called Dylan, but he was in here, and he was before he left. He was like, if anybody needs anything, let me know. Like, it's been great because it's even basically rolled over into this, where it's like, yeah, like we've had people pop in and pop out, and they're like, hey, if you guys are going through anything, like the basement said it when he got in here, is like, if you guys need to talk or whatever, just let us know. So it's even rolled over into this, which is great.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Joshua does call in. He actually messaged me after Monday's show, and we chopped it up a little bit. And the basement is actually Hoodie Kush. He listens to all the shows. He doesn't necessarily call in, but he is very live and active in the chat, in the YouTube chat. So yeah, I mean, there's representation everywhere, Nick. What you do is awesome, man, and we all appreciate it.
Hey, just for anybody who doesn't know who's in here, this is Nick Eatman. He hosts the Cowboys Storyliners and the or Cowboys Storyline on the Cowboys website every day at what time is it? 11 Eastern, so that's 10 Central, right?
Among other accolades. Yep.
That's his big one that
That's
we
his
know.
big one, though. That's what made him.
He's been around for a little bit.
I appreciate that. You guys are too nice. Man, I don't think people like the tweet that I sent out. I really wasn't saying I like the damn Patriots uniforms. I'm just saying they got my freaking initials on their side and on their chest. So,
Nah, them things kind of cold. Them Patriots is kind of cold.
I mean, I don't hate them, but I'm just saying it's not like, ooh, I like the uniforms. I'm just like, if they had your initials all over the side of their helmet, you'd like it. That's all I'm saying.
Hey Nick, one thing that I like that me and Irene and some of the people we talk about is like we could always tell when like you've got some time because you'll be like a little bit spicy with people who like say something tweet at you, you'll like tweet back and be like snippy with them, and we always like we'll see it and then we'll send it to each other and be like, oh, Nick's got time tonight. He's got time tonight.
Well, I mean, every now and again, if it's disrespectful, I'm gonna fire back, but I'm gonna try to not to. Patrick Walker the thing and go nuts on these guys either. But
I love Patrick Walker snapbacks. Oh, they're legendary.
They are. I love when Patrick he's like, did you not read
Nothing's
it?
better than the Irvin one, dude.
Yeah.
Nothing's better than the Irvin one.
I've had conversations with him to like, hey, dude, you need to chill on that, and it's not happening. So it is what it is.
No C stand for no chill.
Yeah.
Hey, let me. I don't know how long you got in here, Nick, but I know Angry's got his hand up for a minute, so I wanted to get to him, see if he got a question for you. What up, Angry?
Hey, what's going on? Hey, Mr. Eatman, it's
Hey,
good
man.
meeting you. This is the first time that I met you, and
For sure.
appreciate everything that you do for the Dallas Cowboys and for Cowboys Nation.
I'm gonna call you AC if I don't know your name. I'm just gonna say AC, Angry Cowboy.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. The question that I have for you, I know there's been a little turmoil with the back and forth with Cowboys fans as far as CeeDee Lamb and George Pickens goes. What is your take as far as George Pickens' targets, and how do you feel the Dallas Cowboys should spearhead George Pickens? Should we franchise tag him, or should we try to get a deal done?
Well, for me, I think we all agree that we're kind of tired of seeing awesome players leave the facility and go to other teams, and it happened with Micah. Obviously, there was a reason for it and all that, but I think you're seeing the best Ferguson has been, you're seeing the best Dak has been, and even a running game that we didn't think was going to be as good as it was, and so to me. All of that is because you've got two really awesome wide receivers. So you got to figure out a way to keep it. You can franchise tag them. I think the tricky part, I said this on the show, is just, you're going to he's going to want a contract that exceeds what CD's making. And then that's going to be interesting to navigate through that. But I think one way or another, you got to figure it out and get these guys signed both, because I think he's a weapon. He really is, and he's a walking pass interference, and so that's a big thing to have.
All right, thank you, Nick.
I love
appreciate
him.
you, man.
I love Pickens, man. But I want both. Let me be greedy. We can be greedy.
You should be. I mean, like, why not? That team in Philadelphia's got it figured out, right, on how to keep two wide receivers and pay a quarterback and a running back and all that. So figure it out.
Just add some more void years on Dak's contract. You'll be fine. Who cares about 2028 or 2029?
Right.
Don't matter.
Dak can see these contracts are made to be restructured. You know what I'm saying? So it's to hear.
We can't hear you, Basement Boys. Your Mustang's too loud.
But
He
no,
really is talking from the basement.
I
huh?
hear
You
what you're
sound-
saying,
yeah,
though.
exactly.
You're right, and it's not just them. You can also, I mean, you got all these contracts that you can do stuff with. Pickens' contract, you can backload it, and then you can add void years to it. Like, you can do all sorts of shit to make it work. It just depends on like how much medicine you're willing to take and pain you're willing to take on in the future. Which, to me, post 2028, I'm taking on all the pain I can after Dak's contract is gone, assuming Dak's not going to be here after that point. That's how I'm operating. But I'm stacking this thing as much as I can until that point. Jeremy, I know you wanted to say something real quick. What up, dude? How you doing?
Oh, I'm good. Actually, you guys kind of already touched on it with the Pickens and CD thing. It's just you got to keep both. But you can't. Stole all my thunder.
Sorry, bro.
Let's call.
We could never, Jeremy.
Hey, well, it's kind of what's cool about this group. Though,
Nick, do you remember Jeremy's first call to Storyline?
The best call ever. What?
Is this Jeremy from Utah, right? Salt Lake?
Yep.
That's right.
Okay, because I feel like there was two Jeremys that were calling a lot at the same time, and not Jeremy from DC, but there was another Jeremy from I can't remember exactly where, but it was like they both calling at the same time. You know, kind of new callers. So no, I don't remember.
You want to say what you said, Jeremy?
It was the funniest thing ever.
I love it.
No, I just wondered. Yeah, why? Rob was the captain.
Man, don't tiptoe, Jeremy. Say it with your chest like you said it the first time.
Yeah.
What'd you say?
Yeah,
You said it so aggressively.
He's the best dialer. That's what I said.
So why did Rob get to be a captain? Because he got to call in better than everybody else, dial faster.
He's the best
Because he
dialer.
dials better than everybody
Yes.
else.
Sue got it. The inflection, the dials. Yeah.
Yeah. I was probably a little more emotional because I got love for him now. You know what I'm saying?
No.
But I was pretty a little more emotional about it at the time. And plus, he just had a horrible take about Dak or something, and I was just like, "All right, dude, I gotta fucking say something."
I didn't love the soft take from him this week, but no, for me, the reason why it was is that like he was fighting with me, and it's what we need, it's what we need on there, and as long as it doesn't go over the line and all that kind of stuff, I think a lot of people reference him. They're like, well, what does Rob in Vegas think? What does this guy? You know what I mean? And so,
I got a question for everybody, including you, Nick. Like, do you guys remember what pissed Nick off the worst on the show so far?
Yes.
I know.
Yeah.
This may
the
not be
Deuce
the
Vaughn,
best.
the Deuce
Deuce
Vaughn one.
Vaughn comment, right?
Which one?
Deuce Vaughn.
Yeah. When somebody called him, not a little
A word we don't say.
Yeah, not a little person. Yeah, right. And dude, you went ballistic, dude. That's consensus. I think all of us were like, "Holy shit, Dad's mad."
Well, what's funny is that wasn't the first thing that popped in my head when you asked that question. I remember that now, but no, like, and I don't know about getting mad, but like
I didn't ask that question, by the way.
Oh, I know exactly who asked it, and he actually. Okay. And the thing about it was we had a decision to make at the end of that season, do we keep him on the team? It was Bob in Rio Grande Valley, which he hasn't called in a while, but we kept him. We put him on the team as honorable mention, and then he called back and got his shirt, and then he apologized, and all that was good. So, I was not upset. I don't know. I was annoyed. And I don't like saying it this week because I know he's going through it, but I know Cowboy Nico has gotten me frustrated a couple times. Well, Rob, when Rob said, he said, "Hey," to the fans, "Hey, stop buying Jerry's merchandise and stop going to the game." Well, we had to cut him off right then and there because.
How'd you like it when he said that he turned off the game the other day?
Hey. It is what it is. But
I will back up.
You don't mess with Jerry's money.
Was his favorite player ever. He did say that. He backs off it now, but he did say on the air that Lawrence Taylor was his favorite player ever.
That's okay. I mean, all that stuff is good. What was funny is the one clip that Chris Beam will show to people and he showed it at the when you guys showed up at Oxnard is the one right after the loss to the Packers. It was the first year of the show, and we all said it's all great now, 12-5. What happens when they lose in the playoffs? And the very first call of the very first show after the playoff loss was Michael in Colton, California, and he started attacking me. Do you still think Dak's the man? And I was like, yep. You still think this and that? And it was funny because he was like, I'm from California, the show me state. And I was like, no, it isn't. And he's like, yeah, it is, bro. And I'm like, nah, it actually is Missouri, but keep going. And so it was just funny. And then the funniest part about it was the very next caller was Greg in Sacramento. And I was like, Greg, from the show me state of California, and so, but that one was probably the funniest clip of so far.
There was the one too where if we thought somebody dropped a P bomb on air,
it was that one.
That was the one.
That one. And it was
but he didn't.
Because he said it. He goes, he was yelling and he was like, you still believe the narrative that you've been pushing. But he said it so fast, and 30 people that heard it all heard the P word except for Danny McCray. Danny McCray heard it one time, and he said, that's not what he said. And then when he pointed it out, we were like, oh, okay. So,
hey, another legendary one that may not have gotten on your nerves, like to that extent, not to that extent, but to any extent, Nick, but one that we all enjoyed watching, everybody who went out to Oxnard, was when everybody, for whatever reason, decided to call you Chris. Every single person. And
we know the reason.
You ended the show with for Nick Eatman, I'm Chris Bean.
Yeah, I'm Ron Burgundy. I was like, whatever. Yeah,
I saw that. That was.
Is it me? I got a question for y'all. Is it me or is Armando from Mexico City not the most hilarious?
Bro, he said that I have it in my notes. His last call was the funniest thing. He's like, we don't even know what he says in Spanish. Talking about Bad Bunny.
Whoa! Oh, Bad Bunny. Yeah.
What just happened?
I don't know. Did you go in a vortex?
Who went to the airport?
Nah, it's somebody's off on mute. Hang on. There we go.
Yeah,
that's my fault. Sorry, it's the Mustang.
Motherfucking Mustang, bro.
How to impact Dylan?
G? Remember G from New Jersey?
Yeah, we haven't.
My bad, man. I bought this Mustang with a cooling air system in it and an aftermarket muffler. I didn't think it was going to be this loud, but I'm happy that it is.
Gotta put a suppressor on that or something. I don't know what.
Sound like you and Mad Max, bro.
The G from New Jersey.
G or Ronnie?
Is that Ronnie from New Jersey?
Because there's a G on Twitter.
No. This guy's name is G from New Jersey. It's not Ronnie. And he was supposed to go out with us in New Jersey. He talked to Chris and he was like, we're gonna go out. We're at the Giants game and we're gonna go out. And he goes, yeah, I was gonna go with you. And then on the air he was like, I was gonna go, guys, but I was with my girl and it was 4th and goal, so I had to stay with her. I was like, okay. All right, I never heard that reference before, but I'm getting it. So.
Oh my gosh.
And then I said, okay, cool. I almost said I hope you scored on 4th and goal, but I was like, nah, let's keep it. Let's stay on the air. So.
Hey, real quick, I have a request. I know we got some hands up, but specifically Joseph would like to jump on. He listens to every episode, but he can't call in. So
I'll drop.
I appreciate you. I'll get you back up here though as soon as I can, if you're still around.
Is there a limit?
There's 10. You can have 10 speakers.
Oh, okay.
But wait, is Joseph there is a Joseph in here, but is it the same
it's
one?
It's the right Joseph. Yeah, I got it.
All right.
You up here? My thing's frozen too. Like my viewer list here is a little jacked up. Thanks, Twitter. I think. All right, Joseph. There you go. What up, bro?
I'm here, Dylan. I'm like starstruck right now. Wow, Nick Eatman. Hey, Nick. How are you, man?
What's up, man? How you doing?
I'm doing all right, buddy. No, I just want to just share something with you. I mean, I've been following you guys, the Cowboys for a long time, and I just want to tell you how much I appreciate all your work. You're just an incredible guy, And
Appreciate
so
that.
I've been trying to call him, and it's impossible to, get in on the show. But I'm like starstruck right now. I'm nervous as hell, but this is awesome. I just want to
Hey, I got a question for you, Joseph. I got a question for you.
Yeah.
So, is your wife a Jets fan?
Yes.
Because I clicked on the profile pic, and I'm like, I that's cool. So y'all just traded players and talking about players. That's cool.
Yeah, man.
MetLife is the Cowboys' second home. We good.
Yes.
Don't worry about
Yeah,
that.
man, it is. But yeah, Nick. But just I appreciate all your work, and I actually have your book too, and it's amazing. So
Appreciate that.
Just wanted to say hello to you.
Well, I appreciate
Thanks.
you, and like I say this all the time on the show, like, there's about, I don't know, there's 40, 50 guys that really, guys and girls that call all the time,
Right.
and we sprinkle, different ones in there, but the show, we get thousands of listeners, so I know there's so many people on top of the ones that just can't call, and I even mentioned it on the show today, like, it's right in the middle of work. You know what I mean? Like,
exactly.
I get it. It's tough. They're putting the clamps on Rob now. They're putting the clamps on some of you guys. But I know this: whenever I have to make a change in the schedule, sometimes I'll send some message to some of you guys like, "Hey, I need you. I need about 7 or 8 of you, different time slot, but I need about 7 or 8, and you guys always come through. So I appreciate you too. Like I know we have all storyline team, and it comes down to the people that call and all that good stuff. But I know we have a lot of listeners that can't do it, so it's good to meet you.
Awesome.
Joe, so
Awesome,
let me say this about Nick. We met him out in Oxnard. Not that impressive. So don't be. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. Wait, listen, we hung out with Nick a couple nights. Just a normal dude, cool dude, like just a great time. I think a lot of us forget. Like I listened to Nick since I was like, I don't know, 15, 16. I'm 34 now. Not to make anybody feel old. Sorry, Nick.
That's all right.
But like. You do get a little starstruck at first. The first time I called, I was like crapping my pants. I was nervous as hell, right? And then like it gets to a point where it's like, okay, he's kind of cool. And then like you meet him, it's like, oh, he's like a normal dude. Just
But you know what's funny, guys? Like I do the same thing. You know what I mean? Like because Chris and I were talking about that when we were driving over. It was like we don't know what these people look like. Like I know exactly who's calling most of the time. I can by their voice. I know what they're gonna say. I know that they're gonna say you didn't hurt anybody today, or or whatever their thing that they say. Nick and Frisco, all that stuff. But I don't know what they look like. I don't even know. In fact, today. Because let me say, Chris Beam, love the guy. He's not winning any spelling bee contests, okay? So you know how many different times he spells Dylan? He types it out, and I don't know how to spell Dylan. I don't know how to spell any of the Zachs or all that kind of stuff. So it's just kind of funny how I don't know some of those things. I don't know what you guys look like with the spelling and all that, but I know exactly what you guys sound like. So it was kind of cool to meet you guys the same way.
Yeah, that was a blast, man. We talk about it all the time still. Can't wait for next year.
Yeah.
It'll be fun.
Cool. You made that sound weird.
Well, I'm a weird guy,
so
there you go.
All the time.
Nick, you got a little bit longer? I don't want to keep you here. If you
know what, guys, I'm actually gonna wrap it though. I'm gonna wrap it up. We're gonna get these kids to bed and all that stuff. But I wanted to just say hello to you guys and thanks again. And we'll do this show tomorrow.
All right, Nick.
Thank you, Nick.
We'll catch you later, brother.
Have a good night.
Thanks, dude. All right, so my Twitter is like frozen. I'm trying to figure out who the hell I have. Travis is saying he's not on here. He was my co-host. So I'm trying to get him back up here, but he's showing that he's a co-host on my screen, so I don't know what the hell's going on. I think I just got him back.
He's showing on mine too.
I think I just got him back. Maybe.
Yeah, I'm back.
And then I'm
gonna drop off soon for caregiving duties. So if you need another speaker slot.
I got Ron's been trying to get in. I know some of these people probably want to talk to Nick and he's gone. So, but if you still want to get in, I'm gonna approve you guys.
Ron and Gail looks like.
Yeah, I'm trying to get you guys up here.
Okay, let me just drop off then. Have a good night.
All right, Irene. Thanks. See you.
Have a good night.
And then I know we got some hands too. Sorry, dude.
What were you doing?
bitches.
We have
I
so
swear
many
to
hands
God.
up, and then we got the
Hey.
side stories. You know how it goes.
Hey, don't be yell. Hey, he even asked about. He was like Davion, and he didn't say that.
Listen,
I was
you
like,
got a
man.
loud ass voice. You can boom over everybody else. So you just jump into the
Nah,
mosh
it's
pit.
cool. I talked to him earlier on the show, so I'm good. I was gonna let everybody be great, especially the Joseph guy. That's pretty cool that he
Yeah.
popped in and said,
Yeah, man. Thank you,
got to
Dylan.
meet him.
Yeah, no problem.
Got to meet him. But hey
Anytime, bro.
Joseph, you didn't tell him your favorite wrestler though. You know that's part of the thing when you hop in the storyline.
Yeah. You know what? I thought about it, but I was just so nervous because I'm like, oh my God, this is like the star, Nick Eatman. I didn't know what to say.
I know exactly how you feel, bro. Dude, to this day, I still write notes like when I call in. I don't like calling in unprepared. I don't write. I used to write stories and like read it verbatim, but now I just do bullet points so I don't sound so robotic.
Hey, I do the same thing, Dylan. I type out like 3 things that I don't want to forget. Otherwise, as soon as I get in the line, I'm like, oh, what was I gonna say?
Yeah, I just hate talking on the phone in general, and then to like call in and be on the radio in front of people. It's like, yeah, I gotta have something good to say, otherwise I'm just not gonna call. So.
Yeah, well, I'll be honest with you. I'm always off the dome. It's just straight Jay-Z style. I'm off the dome. Freestyle.
I'm not surprised one bit, Davion.
Not all of us are as talented as you, all right?
I'm just saying. It's great being me.
Hey Paula, I know you had your hand up. Did you want to talk to Nick, or are we cool? You want to talk to us too?
No, I wanted to ask Nick, but I'll ask the group. So, what do you think we should do about Javonte Williams?
Sign him.
Like after the season?
Yeah.
Yeah, bring
let
that.
him walk.
You son of a bitch.
There you go. Got that cage of the chaos. There he is. I do Travis good weight. He had to find something to go.
Hey.
It just depends on the money.
Hey, let me explain. I only say that because we got to think about everything. You got to think about signing Pickens. And if you guys I've been looking at Javonte's number on the free agency thing. He's up to like $10 million a year. And I forget if it was Irene. She left just now, but Irene said it. Or maybe it was Dylan, you might have said it. You were like, there are plenty of teams that don't spend a whole bunch of draft. Like the best example is the Eagles, right? I hate to bring up the Eagles, but the best example is Jeff Stoutland and the Eagles. Their whole offensive line, why can't they make all these other picks everywhere else? Is because they turned a rugby player that never played football before into a left tackle.